in Copenhagen to Team Liquid. Fabian actually, historically, has struggled against Team Liquid. Only won once in the 4 times he's played them.
Well, all I can say is this is a game of expectations. This is a game of 2 organizations that are really gunning to make a main stage and go even deeper than that. But it does come down to a best-of-3 elimination matchup on the line here. M80 take on Team Liquid Alienware in what is going to be, and I can say this with all my heart,
let's hear it,
an absolute classico. Enjoy.
Lovely. Thank you, Rob. Speaking to Fabian going to this, doesn't seem nervous, but certainly has that probably deep within him and saying, guys, we had to show up today. And like I alluded to earlier, the very first opening match here for M80 that happened against Falcons, it seemed like 3 players had their microphones muted, that they weren't on the same page. And I honestly will always go back to saying, playing in play-ins, the beginning of the tournament, low-key is a benefit. I think it's great to go in, a little bit weaker opponents, you know, double elimination, you're kind of chilling, get some reps in on stage.
For example, like what happened with Shopify Rebellion. They had a nice little warm-up and then they just...
Okay, you went that way. I was going to say, look at CAG because they had a struggle of start, but then they came back. Yeah, okay. Well, for Shopify, they should have won. They shouldn't have lost. That's their problem.
Fanatics also caught their first loss since playing. So, like, I get the theory, but the results just don't back you up right.
Well, it's 50-50 because half the teams will win, half the teams will lose, right? That's how it goes.
Sure. I guess that's how maths works.
I personally love a good warm-up. Imagine if you started with the grand finals with your way backwards. Wouldn't that be just weird?
Yeah. Look, I certainly feel that way, even casting. Like, I've said this to you before, but I feel like the first couple of days, there's a bit of brain fog in there. And once we get into the deeper parts of the tournament, once the matches really ratchet up in the stakes, that's when things start to feel real. And it's certainly feeling real for M80 and Team Liquid Alienware right now. On Team Liquid's pick of Fortress, it is elimination or elation. One for each of these teams. Who will progress further and who will we say goodbye to later today?
A quick look here, the Solid Snake Dokkaebi again. M80 wanting to stick around on the extended roam. They play the trap opposite support as well. The Ella, the Thorn, they got the fallback and the Goyo, the Smoke. They're playing a 2-layer defense right now. They can stick around, fall back, play both at the sides. So then Team Liquid Alienware, they're just kind of looking, opening doors, barricades. No one's like really inside the building as of yet in the first 60 seconds. But the way a swing there is action. Shotgun on the exterior window. Takes down JV92 on the Grim. Still got some power-ups though. They got the Glass, they got the Monty. They can still progress this round. But like James was saying earlier, they're not really a shield team. And despite having the Monty, they only just entered the building and are making very slow progress despite the roamers actually falling back and surrendering their map control first.
Yeah, I mean, even regardless of whether JV had lived or died, M80 are in the advantage with the amount of time they've delayed. Now KZ, with no info, no flash, as Dry Peaks jumps in the window, he'll go down a diffuser. Very easy. Wow, what is that? Philippe Box gets baited out in the crossfire, has to turn away, and diffuser takes him down. Maya finally finds the first pick for Team Liquid Alienware, but it is simply not enough. M80, oh wow, pre-fire through the smoke, ballsy from Gunner. And now Nade in a 1 versus 4, no util to his name. They know exactly where he is as well, in the renovated tower, just waiting for his moment to find a free kill. Gunner attempted to peek it, but of course we know fair well that M80 have nothing to do here. They just sit back and wait.
Ballman crossfire. Who's gonna get the kill? That's the only equation left for this round. Nade might try and go for an exit frag, but shouldn't be able to find that many. Finds 0. Savage, nice headshot. And M80 in full control, looking a lot sharper than their start against Falcons.
Of course, we knew that Team Liquid Alienware struggled on Fortress just the other day against Wildcard. They only found 2 rounds of attack in the entire game, and only 2 rounds of defense as well when they played 5 rounds on their defensive half. I've seen a lot of very defender-sided Fortress recently, and of course it does come down to the specific teams and the specific matchup and the operator bans as to whether it'll be defender-sided or not. But M80 chose to start on that side. Team Liquid Alienware need to be gunning for 2 to 3 rounds here. I think 2 rounds is really the bare minimum, especially considering this is their map pick as well. M80 are looking very prepared here for Fortress.
There's a lot of pressure applied here from Team Liquid Alienware on the Glass/Ying player when we see them being brought into action. A Warden ban going out, super rare, and it just means you have to play into those flashbangs, the smoke grenades kind of operators. The Warden ban as well kind of doubles down the same way. You can't protect yourself from those gadgets as easily either. While you can play the Jaeger, you don't get that secondary shotgun, no C4 deployable shield. You don't have the ability to toss out a disc middle of the round to relocate the protection. So M80 also with that, probably playing a little bit more on the offense than they would like to from the get-go. Because they recognize that, guys, if we let them get to side 5v5 and they get the Ying Glass in there, we're not going to be favored in that position. And one of the only counter operators outside of that, something like a Maestro, gets heavily countered by the Brava, which they still have space for. So I think fighting is going to be the name of the game for M80, but fighting in the correct areas and correct timings in a round.
Yeah, that's right. If the team has good execute utility, don't let them execute.
Yeah.
Of course, Team Liquid Alienware, like I said, they played Fortress against Wildcard just 2 days ago, but M80 on the flip side, they actually haven't played it for a very long time. The last time they played it was in NAL. They beat Outlast on this map, and they went 5-1 on their defense. That's a miss on the first Electric Claw with the EMP, but eventually it does get taken down. But yeah, so as I was saying, M80, historically, they don't play a lot of this map. When they have played it, though, very, very good on the defensive side.
Decent progress, getting the wall downstairs. Ashen good for 2 kills, good for a third as well. Savage trades to help with him. Again, window jump-ins, falling apart from Team Liquid Alienware. Despite having the Blackbeard, despite having Deimos information operators, it's the wrong people going in first, but KZ finds one to Ashen.
Yeah, good shot from KZ. Big late reinforcement there. Side of the bomb side from M80. And once again, Team Liquid, Alienware struggling with those entry kills. Though KZ has solo taken quite a lot of ground. Also gets rid of that Vulcan canister. The drone will go ahead, suss out what's happening on the bomb side.
They reinforced the wall. It's like, there's no more hard destruction. Maya is dead, even if he was alive. Only one single spare Selma charge as well would be up for him. The Mady can now play that second layer. Fall back, stay closer towards the bomb site. They've already reinforced off the walls, establish the crosses, play on the Goyos. Just don't give them anything for free. And they won't.
What can I say?
Oh, and they will not.
Unreal. Such a hard clear of Hammam when the roamers are sneaking around. In the bathhouse, M80 washes Team Liquid Alienware away.
Up in the most confidence-inspiring 2 attacking rounds here. A miss Selma EMP losing free utility in 2 separate rounds where a player will jump in a window without drone information right here. Into a thorn trap, into a guy holding the angle. Even if you were to win the gunfight, I think he just gets injured by the thorn, so like there's not really any win play there. Last live is the Blackbeard, who's supposed to be the entry for the roam clear as well.
Yeah, you're right. Like the Blackbeard should never be the last person in the building and the last person alive.
They're not a shield team.
No, they're not.
But they are trying to force it, and it's not a good look just yet.
Yeah, definitely, it feels like just an understanding of the way that the shields are used. Team Liquid have a very different interpretation. It doesn't seem to be a successful one so far. Also, I hate to sound like a broken record, Pengu, because I know you've heard me say this 100 times, but whenever you're roam clearing on the ground floor of Fortress, don't go Hammam. I think there's one round I have ever seen a team win by roam clearing from Hammam, and there's like 50 where I've seen them lose.
No, you're right. Every time we happen to be casting a match on Fortress, it always goes the wrong way on that entry. I'm right there with you. So Team Liquid Alienware, they haven't called the tag timeout just yet for their coaching staff. They're gonna keep playing on. They do believe they have what it takes to solve the issues. We'll have to see if they actually can back it up in the server. A similar operator lineup. You know, JV on the Grim, Felly on the Blackbeard, Casey on Grenade just like before. But Nade actually getting onto the Maverick, recognizing that, hey guys, they might play a ton of wall denial, they might try and, you know, peel back those layers and reinforce everything off, but no. One of the few rounds right now where there is no real wall denial but the mute jammers, which honestly quite easy to deal with. The can openers from JV that go straight through them. Unaffected by the mutes. They want to work on that exterior wall, but there's actually a feet line of sight on it, so the Maverick is not going to be having a ton of value outside. Wall's already opened up.
I have to wonder how Philippox intends to use this Blackbeard this time around. It's a good way to do it.
Has diffuser.
He does, and now he's trapped. The Tachanka will fry him,
Oh
and he has to go all the way down the stairs into the barbed wire. Good gap found by Maya, but he is punished. Nice thorn trap from Gunnar, but T-Law have actually done the damage here. They found most of the picks. Now Ashen and Savage are the last two left for M80, but never count out a man with a TCSG in his hand. Never count out the Lord himself. And Philippox this entire time, low HP, has been waiting for Savage to stop firing him. Stop keeping him at bay, and Philippox is just surely gonna die. There's nothing you can do. A Blackbeard up against the Tachanka, read like a book. And Savage, well, he's speaking their language right now. 3 rounds in a row for M80.
Disgusting round again. M80 are so prepared for the pushes. The thorn traps in the perfect location to trade themselves back and give them that sound cue of where the attackers are entering the building from. Blackbeard last alive for another round. Ineffective as usual. Operator bans. I love the Monty ban right now. It's one of those cases where they've been kind of rough on the shields here from Team Liquid Alienware, but the Monty will grant them so much safety to like clear back the roam game, and it's a hard operator to deal with as a defender. That's gone. So you're gonna keep playing those shields. You're talking Blitz, you're talking Blackbeard, a lot tougher, which Philippox has been struggling with. On the other side, it's a Goyo ban, which talks about the clock, the timer, and maybe this is gonna be Team Liquid Alienware calling attack time as they have, and playing a little bit slower. A little bit more fundamental. Step 1, make sure we drone it. Step 2, breach the wall. Step 3, hopefully go for a plant.
Yeah, what is Igor saying to the boys right now? One of the most enthusiastic coaches that we see. He has so much energy, and he always has a lot to say as well to his team in these tactical timeouts. He speaks very fast, but he speaks with a lot of authority as well. He's taken tactical timeouts in so many different countries all around the world. He's seen his team raise the trophy in Denmark, in the USA, in Brazil, twice in Brazil actually. We'd love to add Paris, France to his trophy cabinet, especially as a gift to his new organization. He wasn't able to get many trophies for Furia compared to what he did for W7M. But for T-Law, right, they're looking at what could now be a pretty terrible split on this attacking side. We already knew against World Cup they only found 2 rounds out of the 6, and I'm starting to feel like 2 here is the best they could ask for.
Right now it does look like it. Also, just like, going back to the Warden ban, we've seen 1 round of glass. And no Ying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so the Warden ban is achieving what exactly? Yeah. Not a lot. Philippox on the Blitz, Maya on the glass. I feel like this is Igor saying, guys, play into the win con, play into the strat that we spoke about. Why are we banning on Maya Warden and then not playing those kinds of operators?
Yeah, I mean, especially banning the Goyo as well. You want to be playing a lot of shields when you do that. The Tachanka last round made an absolute headache for Philippox on the Blackbeard. But it's funny now, we say that Team Liquid on a shield team. Have a look, we got double shield in this round.
Yeah.
The Blitz and the Blackbeard. M80's Savage knows very well how to use these shield operators, and we saw last round that he knows how to counter them as well. He's got, this time, a Nitro Cell prepared on the pulse, ready to take down that shield should they drop.
Already pinged all 5 defenders here on the left-hand side, so KZ can track anybody on the defensive side. All about going to be coordination now. Who are we going for? Okay, Deimos tracked him, get that intel. But first, can we gain that foothold in the building?
Oh, he sees him.
Initial injury, sees the feet.
Does he get someone else to sit on that camera? He doesn't at the moment, so he's going with that info. He draws out the peak thanks to the noise that he's made, and he almost finds a second one, but M80 seem to be everywhere. Wow. I can't believe that not only was there a player in the renovation tower to peek him from up above the ladder, which, by the way, he did actually read, there was also a second one. Gunnar ready to swing him from down below.
Gonna try and think about this. Was it a worthwhile peak? I mean, yes, because you took down the smoke. That's gonna give more freedom here for JV and Philippox playing those shield operators. So the smoke is dead. Goyo's banned away. A lot of freedom. But who's gonna do the entry job? Who's gonna enter the building? Well, 2 people right here. The shield and the glass.
Oh, wow. Big peek there from JV. Wants to try and take the gunfight. Surely there's no way that Gunnar survives here. The nade will injure him. JV will finish him off. Great usage of the smoke as well to give a little bit of cover. Well played now from T-Law. They're starting to use these shields properly, and they've got the glass to support as well.
By the bomb site walls right now, let's keep it off for a second. But there's going to be a double shield push with a glass, so limited ways of taking those gunfights, DMR, low fire rate, and just pistols. No one's watching the breach.
Savage wants to make a play here. Both of these players from T-Law are looking different directions. Now Savage has found his gap thanks to Gavin taking down Maya. It's 2 shields up for T-Law, but Diffuser on the floor. And Savage and Gavin help on out. It's Nade now on a 1v2 with Diffuser still injured. Nade with the flash, but Gavin peeks directly into it. Such a critical win for M80. Team Liquid Alienware were the closest they've been so far to a round win. And the North Americans say not just yet.
A great swing there at the end. Gavin recognized that, hey, either I run to my right-hand side when he can cut off my runaway and I'll just die while I'm blinded, or I stay in the corner, he can push me for free. So saying, you know what, gonna go for the swing, get the pre-fire through while he's sprinting towards me. Again, M80, the right players in the right location peeking together, making that 1 versus 1 against a shield, a 2 versus 1 in their favor.
Yeah. 2 shields dying while ADSing, by the way.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you have double shield and glass, taking those fights is so uncomfortable. It looks like a solid position to be in, but it's not. You have awful weaponry. No smoke grenades to peek through. The shields are both flowing HP from the earlier battle. And I mean, if you want to play this heavily into the shields and not the Ying glass, maybe some trap ops should have been banned and not the Warden Wamai. Because again, I want to see the Ying like every round.
Yeah.
I want to see the Blitz get in there and get active, which they have tried, but again, super unsuccessfully. 0-4 for Friendly Box. Shield almost every round. JV 1-4, playing some shield, some guns. I mean, you know, only one guy is finding kills, that's KZ. He's sitting on 4-4 right now.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think Team Liquid Alienware just really have struggled in this half to try and figure out the best way to crack in to this map, and I think the solid snake ban is also a large part of that. Oh, almost a chance there for Ashen. Does go for the re-peek, and JV goes down 1-5 for JV today.
Gunner is just laughing and smiling at the player killer. He's holding his grin in right now. What?
I really do feel like Team Liquid Alienware want to go for these lurks. We saw it last round from KZ, but that's why the solid snake ban has been so impactful. Instead, they're running that Deimos. Now they're not even running any at all. They're really just going into, as you said, the win con of that Warden ban, getting Nade on the Ying.
Yeah, but when you keep losing an early member like this, an influential one, last round there was going to be Casey on the Deimos, the roam clearer. Now it's JV, the plant protector, that can help enable the push, right? You can actually EMP, you know, the Thorn Razor Blooms, the Ella Mines, the Smoke Cannons, the Mid-Air, the Nari Lasers, so much value. And it's again JV who dies on the Thatcher. So it leaves up even more pressure now for Nade as the Ying to be the difference maker. For Casey and Philippox to make the push happen off that flashbang later on in this round. But the first question I guess that we have to raise, can they even break the bomb site apart to begin with?
They're using Nade's shotgun to try and do that at the moment. No Vert operator dedicated for what is usually a very Vert-centric site. I think the key here for me is going to be, will Team Liquid Alienware be able to take Infirmary, or Medbay as it's often known? There are so many traps in there, and also the Denari lasers on the hatch.
Yeah.
But the Ying is one of the best ingredients to try and take control of Medbay. And the Blitz as well. In theory, they have all they need. Problem is, all of the traps that M80 have to prevent them from breaking in.
Hot counters. Also, mind you, Gunner is sitting on 2 spare Asami barriers in pocket. Probably using them right now. Candelas, and they peek off it as well. Nade is down. No more Ying. No more pushing power.
Well played from Ashen straight into Medbay. But Philippox will lose his fight as well. Gunner's created a fortress here on Fortress thanks to those keeper barriers. KZ and Maya, 2 of the star fraggers from Team Liquid Alienware now. In a 2 versus 5, but Savage will stab them in the back. It's up to KZ to prevent a flawless round for M80. T-Law picked the map, but M80 have picked them apart. What can KZ do? The Lion has been silenced. 1v5 would be a dream, but M80 are not going to fall for that. They'll sit back and wait. Gavin, hungry for a 6th kill in this game, peeks at the right moment. He's toying with him. KZ finally takes him down. One of the last bullets in the magazine. There's plenty more to be done now. No defuse. It's locked down inside of Medbay. As M80 just sit and hold their positions. They will not feed him whatsoever. Meanwhile, Ashen is taunting him from outside the building. KZ is going to bait and wait for his chance. He will find nothing. M80, on the other hand, they found a 5th round.
Ridiculous. Again, all the small areas of this game right now. M80 just winning. Candela goes out, they get the swing, they get the kill, and in case they don't get the kill, gonna start popping, keep barriers left and right to protect himself from getting pushed on those doorways. On the other side though, Team Liquid Anywhere getting spawn peak 2 rounds now, losing crucial operators, and the push was not synchronized. Friendly Pogs was deep in medbay, while Ying is dying outside the building, while they have 2 players upstairs shotgunning the floor apart. Because like you said, there's no sledge, there's no ram, there's no bug, there's a Ying shotgun.
Yeah.
Who was also the enabler to push downstairs after.
It's actually a very hard bomb site to clear, even once you have the Vert, because the Vert doesn't actually cover the whole bomb site. And funnily enough, medbay, which isn't the bomb site by the way, but is the most important room, there's no Vert to get in there. So we needed a Flores, or we needed, even the Thatcher I don't think would have been enough. Like we needed explosives, some real explosives from T-Law to take down the Azami, flush him out of that position, and it certainly didn't help that the Ying immediately died to a peek from Gavin when he was trying to take in Courtyard. It just feels like Team Liquid Alienware just have no idea what to do in each round. They're always misreading the wind conditions.
Hey, they got the glass and the Ying.
The thing is,
it's finally happened.
But this game isn't as simple, Pengu, as you ban Warden, pick operators that are really good.
It's a good start.
It's a good start, yeah, but that alone is not enough. They banned the
Warden Wamai and they played Ying twice and Glass twice independently, not together. It feels like a little bit from the outside, right? That Team Liquid Alienware, they want to cheese these rounds. You know, be outside the building and then be in the side and winning. So they're skipping all these steps of roam clearing, taking control, and I love using the phrase of getting a foothold in the building. When you get that foothold, it means that you can comfortably go on drones, you're not being pressured in the gunfight, you're not worried about getting flanked, you can think very clearly in the server, and you're progressing. But they just jump on in, like I said, and they die!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but it is a very aggressive rush directly into the bomb site. Philippe Ox has found his first 2 kills of the game with the glass. And Savage has not been in position to deny the plan. In fact, he will go down. The first round finally on the board for Team Liquid Alienware on the back of an explosive glass rush. Finally, the Brazilians have a round on the scoreboard and perhaps a chance here on Fortress.
So actually, it is that easy. You pick glass in together with a Warden ban and you win him out immediately. Right off the rip, James. They should have done this, not the strat.
Do you want to fight?
But the operators.
Do you actually want to fight?
You look like a farmer today, so I'm not going to do it because they got that buff. I ain't got that buff today,
I've been working the field.
I've been working the fields, carrying the loads.
I'll set my dogs on you.
You'll what?
I'll be setting my dogs on you. Like,
oh,
you know,
okay.
Not those dogs.
That's it.
Is that real? I didn't know that it was that easy to get you to bark for me. I've been trying.
I mean, Rob started it. I just continued. I'm not sure the mic picked that up.
Barking at me.
He's a background barker right now. But I mean, I know the game isn't as simple as like you pick the glass, you win the round because then every team would do it. But when you're banning the Warden, you have to unless you're trolling.
Yeah. Otherwise,
I feel like it is that simple.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why are we banning the Warden?
No, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. I think leveraging the glass was a great idea, but it's not the only thing that went wrong for Team Liquid in those first 5 rounds, that's for sure. But yeah, I think you said it really well when you said Team Liquid Alienware are kind of trying to cheese these rounds. They even did, when they were using the Ying and Glass, it wasn't necessarily the perfectly thought out plan. It's a lot of spam util, spam bodies, and we'll probably win. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, they technically lost Maya straight away, but at the end of the day, they push all together, and even if Maya falls, someone else will find that gap on the bomb site, and if you force the plant down, it pretty much means GG in the round.
It was a bit scary because if M80 had information that the plant was going down, they did have the Shanka, they'd have a ton of plant denial, but they quite literally just didn't have a clue. That could have very easily been a rush that was going to be stopped, and you see the player cams right from M80's side, they're signaling things with their hands. I'm not sure what they're signaling there.
Savage and Gavin. Looks like Savage is explaining. The experienced IGL says, so Gavin, what you want to do is you want to put your hands like this.
They're not too bothered, it seems like, right? You lose that last round? Ah, guys, 5-1-1/2.
Look, all they need is 2 rounds on the attacking side as we come to the close of the halftime timeout. Time to get back into it. Okay, are we going to see the Wamai and the Warden ban again? What do you reckon?
I'm very curious what M80 are opting for because I don't have a read on it whatsoever. So I'm not even going to try.
Oh,
guys,
don't tell me it's
Don't tell me it's Kaid.
That would be so boring.
That was the last thing I expected, to be honest. You can't just double down now. You can't just bet the bandit, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, from Team Liquid Alienware, I do quite like the Blackbeard ban. I think that it's one of the shields that probably complements the M80 playstyle the most. They're a fast team. and I think Savage is really good on that Blackbeard. And that's a good move from him.
I mean, it could just be a Monty round, to be honest with you. It's gonna be probably one of the shields at least. I would be surprised if not, but...
Didn't see any Monty last time they... Oh, it was banned... No, actually, well, yeah, sorry. It was banned against them when M80 played it against Outlast. They played a bit of Blackbeard and a little bit of Blitz, but... Yeah, not necessarily their favorite operators. Of course, you don't need shields. I quite like this, though, from Team Liquid Alien. We're going for the tertiary bomb site first up. Saucy.
Yeah. Big changes. Get in the ram, get that verticality, get a blitz for the roam clear, get a ying for the execute.
I'm just looking at Savage's most played operators in the last 3 months. Can you guess the three operators?
I mean, okay, I did peek the screen.
It's Blackbeard, Blitz, and Montaigne.
Yeah.
He has played... Combined between the three of them, about 70 rounds of shields in the last
That's a shield main for you.
He is literally a shield.
And he's successful in doing so as well, I imagine.
So, yeah, I mean, of course, you can't ban every shield. You could ban 2 out of the 3 and then save your tertiary ban for a shield as well, but even then you can go to Fuse.
Yeah.
And by that point, you've already had half of the half already finished. So it's really, you got to pick your poison. You get rid of the Blackbeard, you know you're going to be dealing with the Blitz or perhaps the Monty. And Savage is a mean Blitz player.
The great thing about M80 is that with this 5-1 lead, they can try out your cheese rushes, your very simple plant executes, you can play for kills, and they got all the ops for it. They got the Solid Snake, they got the Demos, they have the Ying, they have the Cavitao open as well, they got the Grim open. They can really just like work through the different iterations of the attack and lineup and just figure out what's gonna work the best. Team Liquid Alien, where ideally needs to find that opening pick, disrupt M80 from getting to that bomb site in a 5v5, because if they can get there, they have so many ways of just getting the free intel, like the Solid Snake, scanning like a quarter of the map from one single up position. Do that by the bomb site later on, it's going to be unplayable for the defense.
Maya pre-places a C4, but actually doesn't land, despite having the info from the Valcam. So I think a slight miscomm, the call out from Nade on when to blow that Nitro just didn't quite land. A little bit of damage, but if Savage had gone down, that would have been huge. Bit of a mischance.
They got in full top floor control, they locked down the flanks. This is what I mean with the foothold, right? This exact state that I'm talking about. The people who need to do a job are doing it. Ashen doing the vert with the boogie drones, then peeks down the ankles. If you want to get the hatch open up, that's gone with the can openers, that's been done as well. You have the Diffuser watching the lobby flank as the Solid Snake using the gadget in a very safe manner and going for a backstab later on. And we're talking. Who's gonna go where? What are we gonna do? When are we gonna do it? Team Liquid Anyone never found that foothold. Media has gotten the very first shot, but they want more. They want the roam clear as well downstairs. They want the whole map before ready for that side.
They're happy to do a slow attack just to make sure that they have all the map control that they need. But yeah, you're right. It might be a little bit too slow. Can't afford to make mistakes in the late round. If you're not quick in the early round, this smoke will not fully cover the angle. But Savage does sneak past anyway. KZ just allowed that gap to be found. This castle barricade though does make it a little bit more claustrophobic as the Candelas start to come in. Opening kill is indeed for M80 as Ashen finds one, but KZ, after that smoke subsides, is able to backstab these players. Savage will try and keep himself protected with another smoke, but he's very low on HP. Now Gunner deep into the bomb site. Maya will catch him off guard, and Team Liquid Alienware look a little bit better on their defensive side. It's Ashen who started things, now forced to finish them, but KZ has come back to the site and tears them apart. Great round from T-Law.
And they finally fight back at the right times. And again, that little bit of disruption before the execute came through. Good usage of the toxic babe stuff from the smoke, stalling out the blitz, and the teammate behind him getting stuck in the hallway. Because that was going to be the backstab on Medbay with the Deimos pushing from the front. It's going to capitalize on that cancel in the middle of that room. And that was going to be a freebie most likely. That was a great job, well done, but like you said, it's such a hard bomb set to execute on. Getting inside from the hatch drop, probably not going to go very well. Sneaking into any of the bomb site doors against the, the castle barricades, the Ella mines as well. It's going to be so tricky. There are so few ways that are actually clear as an attacker. In fact, nothing was clear that round.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. This map is actually quite big, quite claustrophobic on the ground floor. The top floor is a little bit easy to handle in a way, just because
I'll say so, yeah.
I feel like there are fewer rooms. And technically the top floor is actually smaller than the ground floor, because this entire balcony on the left-hand side of your screen doesn't obviously exist as interiors on the top floor, but it does on the bottom floor. So the bottom floor is technically a much larger part of the map. There's a lot more to deal with. And that's why roam clearing can be a little bit of a fickle affair, especially if you're prioritizing Vert. There's a problem with that medbay bomb site. Rather, it's not technically medbay. Cafeteria bomb site.
It feels like the bomb site because it relies so much on that area of the map.
Yeah, it's technically waiting room and cafeteria. It's not even kitchen.
Yeah.
The kitchen isn't technically part of the bomb site. Neither is, I think it's called furnace. You know that room that everyone
I remember we
tries
had
to
a
plant
class
in.
that we did where a team kept trying. It looked like they were trying to plant in there.
That was quite funny.
Not sure that was APL or where that was, but it was a funny one. I think it was Chiefs actually.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But as I said before, for M80, they have so many strong operators open on the attack. They can flick between them. This time it's gonna be the Grim, obviously. They also have Sophia, who is looking to drone downstairs. So we're gonna try and get the big booms from below. Seen a lot of kills with that gadget this event so far.
We have.
Shot in the main staircase. Red ping is there.
I like the idea here from Savage. It's shotgun versus shotgun, and he will win the fight against Nade. Beautiful. Love to see that. Quickly taking down the camera as well. The Nitro Cell looked to try and trade, but no, that was Gavin outside the building.
Yeah.
Savage will be traded regardless by KZ. Down below, but Gav swipes his head clean off to reply. M80 restabilizing after losing a single player. Now they're back onto it. Now they just have to play slowly because Team Liquid Alienware are more than likely to try and lash out.
You see exactly right. Hop on Jones, make sure the flanks are safe, and now watch the angles. If Philibox has the incorrect read right now, yeah, somehow just hears the drone. It wasn't even moving, but has that 610s. Getting good bit of value. Mind you, Ashen, who dropped into tower construction right here, cannot move forward because of the angle and soft wall. And the big booms came from below from Gavin, but didn't find almost any damage there onto Philibox.
Now the Zoph is all out. He will use the concussions to try and put some extra pressure on Philipox, who just shoots another drone. JV, though, uses the space to try and peek on up. Gav must have heard him, though. Takes him down. Philipox now desperate to try and find at least one kill, just like Maya has done onto Diffuser from behind. Pox, though, rounding the next corner.
Oh my god.
He's now in a 1v3. Gavin will surely finally find that kill. It's M80 on to match point.
Dance, Gavin, dance right there. He was getting freaky with it. With the pistol, getting past the angle, swinging off the reinforcement, and finding so much value. Also using that concussion mines onto Philipox, who's doing a great job himself, actually. He tanked the Sophia, concussions, the soft reach from below, killed like 4 or 5 drones in the round. Did a bit of damage, but not to be.
Yeah, I think that a big part of that round was just M80 finding that initial kill with the Deimos shotgun. It's so valuable there.
Main control is hard to get, so for sure.
It is. I mean, you invest a lot of your defense into this single position at the top of the main stairs, and we saw what happened as soon as M80 had control of that top main stairs, right? There was very little to be done for Team Liquid Alienware.
To be fair, one thing that I think a lot of teams are, not sure they're missing it, but they're skipping it, is there's not a lot of vert being done leading towards that lobby portion where Savage walked in. The whole floor above the ceiling is soft.
You can actually contest that.
Yeah, it's kind of like Villa main stairs. It's very similar, where you have a pretty nasty angle. But again, if you're playing a rotate as a defender, you don't want the attackers to use it against you. Maybe you don't want to give them the angle for them. But if they have any operators that can just, you know, a DMR, a box Sophia, they'll get that hole regardless. So I feel like if you're gonna play on that main staircase as a smoke operator, gotta get some support, some love. KC, who's playing that smoke again, has been their person. 11 kills right now. Second on the tally. Philipox and Maya shared on 4. Nade going 0-7.
Yeah.
When does Nade ever go 0-7?
Yeah, you got James Bond in the house here, and it's not where you want to be, the Nade. Especially when his brother is largely regarded as the best player in the world.
Unless they swap places. And it's just your handy playing for Nade, and we don't know, and that's why he's playing Porte, because the comms are different, the strats are different, he doesn't know what's going on.
Definitely not handy going on.
She's strat, they're gonna go rush on in.
I love this from Savage, straight on the back of the lifeline. In he goes, and he does find the kill onto Nade.
Pop the fire, yep.
3v3, we got him down on the floor as the Rayora will try and protect Savage for a little bit longer. He does have a flash, he could go deep. Oh, but he gets shot down! Well played from KZ to restabilize and use those gas babes to prevent that blitz from marching on forward. All up to Gav now. Unlikely he'll be able to revive Gunner as he's too deep into the bomb site. If he could retreat, just maybe there's a chance.
It's gonna make so much noise if he does, so that's the issue. Vaults the rotate regardless. BP is there. And JV swings, they get that kill. Really well played from Casey in particular, shooting the shield off the blitz. That way he gets staggered, can't go for a sprint. Then the Toxic Bait comes out, he's forced to tank it, gets injured, then confirmed. Small bit of tech. I actually like that rush shot though a lot from M80 because there's a lot of small things that kind of got pieced together. Roaring off the bomb site door from the external window. That way they don't gotta worry about that center staircase and the flank possibility. Then Sophia off the softball, Blitz runs on in. A lot of people working together. But you gotta find at least 2 or 3 clean kills to restabilize in that round. And that's the issue. They only found the first 2. They never found that third.
Yeah, of course. And now we've had the final operator bands come on through. The Goyo banned out by M80, which tells me one thing. It tells me that
Go fast.
they want to go fast. They want to get into the bomb site and force that map control without Team Liquid Alienware having the ability to delay it. On the flip side, T-Law got rid of a second shield operator in the Blitz. I mean, look, Blackbeard is Savage's most played operator. Blitz is his second most played operator. Monty is his third most played operator. And really, if M80 want to play another shield, they will. I don't think that you're going to lose much just because it's the Monty instead of the Blitz.
But I do like this, right? The Nara comes into action as well. It's a huge shield counter. Thorn is there for intel. The Fenrir, I mean, this is T-Law almost like changing the entire defensive structure. They're playing for denial of the entries and saying, hey, we're going to make you weaker in the gunfights to increase your own odds of winning and then fight you on our turn, on our turf.
Interestingly, though, Savage actually doesn't go for a shield. Very rare to see. In fact, he's on the Lurker. He's on the Solid Snake. This is, typically what you'd see a player like Ashen or Gunner on someone that wants to be lurking. Maybe not Ashen, but definitely Gunner like it. It's a KZ type role, right?
Yeah, but I kind of dig it. I like it. Because if you look at the defensive lineup, it's miserable playing a shield against the Denari, the Fenrir, and the Thorn. It's just so many things to juggle, and you are giving yourself less guns, but Gunner goes down early. Speaking of guns...
That's a huge kill, by the way, because that's your Twitch. Gunner is one of the only counters to all of those trap operators that you mentioned. The Thorn, the Denari, and the Fenrir.
You got the Flores, but this doesn't work the same. Rarely finds as much value. And it's just, again, for Team Liquid Alienware, starting on the right foot in the round. And getting opening pick, that is definitely the best foot to start on.
This really has felt like a drastically M80 favored game, but this round is the first time I'm looking at Team Liquid Alienware and thinking, damn, this is actually, they got hands. This is looking like if they are to make a comeback happen, I could see it starting from here.
Still progressing slowly here for M80. You can definitely tell they lost the player early. Someone's got to replace those drones. Someone's got to find the intel. They're kind of just... I'm not sure they're flipping the entire attack, but... Diffuser is downstairs beneath the bomb site with the Deimos. Maybe looking for a red ping right now. They're outside the building otherwise. And no clear sign of an approach or an attack, so I'm very uncertain of what the plan is right now from M80. Gonna go for Horus Door and Horus Hallway. This is all or nothing. You fight it out, either you win your fight or you lose the round.
But the Azami from Philippox has done a good job of slowing M80 down. Now they start to march their way forward. Diffuser with the...
Oh no! Not the hatch.
Gavin's just dropped down the hatch. That was not deliberate, was it? Savage, be careful not to do the same thing. You can get some information with that Solid Snake on exactly where these players are. The IGL can then call out exactly which ones we're going for. Never mind, the IGL will be dead. And so Maya holding down Bathroom, a second player and a third likely to peek him. So much damage he can deal. Out comes the C75, but Gavin's pistol will do more damage. Quick revive now on the Diffuser. Philippox would appreciate the same hospitality from his side, but I don't think that they're going to be able to do so. Oh, my guy. Action. Was that deliberate? That can't have been deliberate. And now he just runs straight into KZ's waiting hands. There's a second player from M80 dropping down that exact same hatch. I can't believe what I'm watching right now. This is desperate now. Diffuser goes in. Gavin to support. Out with the pistol again. He actually finds the kill regardless. This guy cannot be stopped, but surely now 12 kills is all he'll get as JV swipes him down. Team Liquid Alienware, they're running this gauntlet. They want to push for overtime, and if they keep this up, that might just be possible.
Round by round, they're pulling it back. They're looking better and better. Gavin on his second water bottle already. It's going to be a long game. A lot of hydration required. The Tilo will continue up this performance. Double hatch drop. It happens sometimes in a very awkward position. If this push you into Bathroom, it happens in the 2 versus 3. didn't go for a trade, you could plant in the corner like we saw from Gavin and have a bit of coverage. That could have honestly been an M80 round victory, or post plant at least. But Maya getting those first kill and injure, stalled out the attack. T-Law only 2 rounds behind now.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is in the last 5 rounds we've played, it's actually been 4 rounds won by T-Law and only 1 round won by M80. So it's, of course, that is the nature of a very defend-decided match right now, which is what we're witnessing. But yeah, I mean, it's worth thinking about like the momentum. This was 5-0 start for M80. Team Liquid have really closed that gap. But I'm not going to get too excited for them just yet. 1 more round win, and I'll start to think, okay, guys, maybe it's possible. But you do have to win all 5 of these defensive rounds. You can only afford to drop 1, and they did that very early.
We're seeing that 3rd iteration now from M80. They tried the Blitz Rush, they tried the Solid Snake on Savage, now they're trying the Monty out instead. They jump out aggressively. Bit of an unlucky timing there from KC, and he's been honestly so good. Finding these 14 kills and having the confidence to just keep going for super high-risk plays when this could cost them the entire map, essentially. But it's necessary to apply that pressure to keep M80 on their toes. Garner taking a bit of damage. But my eyes are going to be on Savage. It should be a step 1, step 2, step 3. Very clean round from M80 that they want to try and accomplish. So that, again, T-Law playing Game of Destruction, that is going to be a good counterplay. I'm so worried about the peaks here. It's where Ghana died earlier from that window swing.
Yeah.
And as long as Savage is outside the building as the Monty, it means internally, not a ton of progress happening in the map.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot more confidence from these Team Liquid Alienware players to stand their ground and to lash out when they see a gap. Gunner, though, is the first one to find that. Must have been onto the main stairs, I can only assume.
It was.
Yeah, and Nade is now in that exact same position, funnily enough. Unless if it was JV92 trying to rotate through the hallway, but regardless, Team Liquid Alienware now have to think twice about contesting on this top floor.
Yep, and this is where the Monty becomes a problem for the defense, because there's not really any counters in action. There's a C4 from Nade, that's about it.
Nice.
KC at the line strikes out again, 15 kills now. And that's going to be solid.
Good nitro!
C4, oh my god, it almost caught him.
Wow, that was huge from Savage. The quick reaction time to spin around so that the shield absorbed most of the damage. Otherwise, this round surely would have been dead in the water for M80. Ashen still needs to get to work on the Verd, but before that, they need to worry about these roamers. Pox takes a bit of damage. 3 players from Team Liquid Alienware upstairs contesting the roam, which means that they aren't holding on to the side. Ashen, who's meant to be the Verd operator up above, decides instead to go for the gap, but it has been slammed shut by Team Liquid Alienware. Gavin tries to pry open the round again. But he's going up against a 17-kill KZ, supported with Philippox as well. Gav does have the defuse, and KZ's got the perfect info to try and call out where that is. Him and Philippox need to play this perfectly. Never mind! KZ's a one-man show! 18 kills to his name, 4 in that round, and just 1 away from tying the scoreboard with M80.
He just keeps saving his team, time and time again! They had the bomb site, they had the gap, they had the plant, they were in the post, and yes, that was a 1v2, but still a super winnable spot there from Gavin. If he finds that victory in the gunfight, he's up against the best player in the server of KC, only trailing by 1, and this is where I get a little bit worried for M80. There's a technical timeout as well called from Fabian. They tried the Solid Snake, they tried the Blitz, that was spent away. They tried the Monty, ineffective despite the fact that there was almost no counters on the board. That Soul C4 did 80% of Savage's health bars, the Monty, and that was enough.
It gets tense now for M80. 5-0 start. Ever since then, they've just found a single round. Liquid have now found 5 of their own. 1 more, we go overtime. All it takes is 1 attack round to win here for M80. That's all they need. But Team Liquid, they've been so much better. They've been so much more aggressive. I mean, this is the Team Liquid that back when they were W7M, this was the playstyle they had that won them 2 majors and a world championship and the Reload tournament back when they were Furia as well. This aggression, fighting tooth and nail for the entire map, even when they lose the opening kill, as they did last round.
This feels like it's KC turning back the clock and his teammates staying in the future, you know? Or in the present, I suppose. Because he is fighting like that old roster, but I'm not seeing that follow-up, not seeing that coordination behind him. At least in terms of the kill department, they're not really finding their shots.
I mean, JV and Nate on 3 each. KZ 18, like that's just insane. He's got more kills than the rest of his team. Oh, no, wait. Let me do some maths. Yeah.
He does.
He's got more kills. The rest of the team's got 17 kills. He's got 18.
I mean, surely he watched Bay from Wildcard play this map yesterday, right? And he's like, you know what?
21 for Bay.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was 23, but it could be 21.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure, but it's low 20s. And if we're gonna go into OT, surely he's gonna join him up there.
Gotta happen. Gotta happen.
Thing is, KC is playing smoke for half of the defensive rounds, an operator that you don't really want to be the playmaker, that you don't want to have a high kill tally necessarily, because that gadget gets more and more value the later in the round you get. But when you're KC right now, maybe it's actually going to be the perfect operator, because if any shields get in your path, the Toxic Babes, huge counter, stalls out the shields. If you're in like a 1 versus 2 gunfight, smoke off one angle, fight the other. So it is giving KC a different way of fighting. And you also keep that SMG11, which has gotten so many kills with as a solo player.
Yeah, one thing I like here from M80 is Diffuser on the Twitch combined with Gunner on the Flores. So Gunner can prioritize any util like this barbed wire to go for these late round lurks. Diffuser can prioritize the Thorn Traps and more Mine Magnets. He's in the building now. He's actually going to use a normal drone. He still has one more Twitch drone in pocket, so he hasn't actually done a lot of clearing out util. This Team Liquid Alienware continue their roam, but they're peeling back slowly. They're not overcommitting. Everyone is actually on that top floor. No one down below. I can't say the same for M80. Diffuser is still downstairs as that target comes up onto JV. How does Ashen try and contest it? He's not down below. He's looking to try and contest laterally at the moment as M80 go for their roam clear.
Just waiting for a cutoff right now, going for a little bit of backstep approach. They got the intel. Blossom doesn't into that room of Thorns, just pops right in the exterior. And the opening kill here could be everything. Mates here are so cautious, waiting for the rotations, gotta cover the hole from Ashen, then you can start breaching open that wall. Again, it's Savage as the Monty has to make the first push forward, has to try and clear all those corners, and it's KC, the man of the hour, who takes a fair bit of damage here to start off the round. But when it is 60 seconds to go, now up against the smoke, the Shitanga, and the soda canisters of Tubarao.
Yeah, that Tubarao is huge here. Combine that with the gas, which is preventing M80 from marching up that hallway. KZ keeping them at bay. This is massive for Team Liquid Alienware. Savage starts to make his way forward. KZ hasn't actually gone with a second gas, so Savage is going to get control of meeting now.
Last one. Second final smoke as well. So the good news here is when Maya and KC are done using their gadgets, they're going to be gun subs. It's going to be ready for that push to come. And KC actually going for a downstairs play right now. Maybe looking for a flank late in this round, but that means that final Toxic Babe is not in sight.
It's not in the sight, but Nade's fire is, as Team Liquid are doing everything they can to slow down M80. Maya traded back after he finds a big kill onto Ashen. The Deimos finished off, but M80 still have this Monty. He might be able to go for a plan, especially if Gavin finds that gap on a JV.
We don't know.
To start forcing that plan down, but KZ could
19.
well be the man of the hour.
20.
Make that 20 for KZ. It's now just Diffuser and Gunner, but they've got the injure onto full epochs. 21! Gunner needs to clutch up for M80,
There's no time.
But the Lion is roaring. He is stalking his prey. And the King of the Jungle has sent Team Liquid to overtime.
With 40 seconds left in the round, down 5-6, the most important round to win for T-Law, he leaves the bomb site open in a 4v5, saying, guys, I need 20 seconds. He sprints downstairs, through infirmary, to office, to lobby. He climbs the ladder, he gets into master bedroom, and he just has to trigger discipline. Waiting, only having 17 bullets, has to get a clean headshot, then denies the plant, and that final Toxic Baby he kept in pocket the entire time gets tossed. Panic from M80. They vault in the rotate, they get shot in their back once more, and the seconds, only 2 left now. There's not enough time for Gunner or anybody else to win the round for M80. We are now in overtime. The comeback, it was started, and it's been successful, and now they, T-Law, they have the momentum.
Yeah, and KZ 21 kills. You said it, Bay had 23 on this map just yesterday with Wildcard. Yeah, and
he's not gonna slow down, James.
KZ,
that's the issue with KZ.
He may well be on his way. Oh man, 5 deaths as well is unbelievable. His team has won 6 rounds and he's only
When he
died
dies, they lose. That's pretty much the stat right now.
Literally. That's literally how this game works. And as you said, I mean, to go for a flank that big with that little time on the clock.
With a spare canister.
As
like,
the guy
if he
who
had
needs
no
to be using the
it's
smoke.
amazing, but no.
Crazy to see. Crazy from KZ. As we've come to expect these days. Team Liquid Alienware have run the gauntlet from 0-5 down. We hit overtime. But these players, I mean, they've seen worse odds. Never forget Sao Paulo, 6-1 down. And they came back to win the championship. Never put it past these guys.
It's always a possibility, and I think we saw in the player camps, the second M80 lost, it's actually Fabian sprinting over and starting fist bumping and trying to calm down the players a bit because he recognized that they thought they had won it. They were like a second or two off planted with M80, those could be wraps. So a lot of frustration, I'm sure, that Fabian felt there from the players and a bit concerned about their mental state. Now we look towards Savage as the IGL, not the Monty, but the new player on the squad from Europe to say, guys, don't worry, we got this. This is how we're gonna win. This is gonna be the approach. Gavin also 16 kills, been phenomenal this game so far on the attacking side. That's where we're gonna stay entering OT.
Time to hunt down KZ. I gotta say, he's put the fear of God into M80. And yet still, they have to contest him. He will fall back towards that bomb site. It is that classic cafeteria waiting room bomb site on the ground floor that we've talked about so much. We don't have the ram this time from M80, so less of a leverage onto the vertical game. Still some options in the late round if you want to use the Flores for vert, maybe even the ace, but it's not ideal. They're instead forming up behind their captain, Savage. A year ago, he raised the trophy in Riyadh, and now he tries to raise M80's hopes after losing from such an advantage. It's another attack attempted. KZ's gone for 22. Ashen's finished off. Goodbye to the Solid Snake. He's Liquid now. 4v5 from M80 as they continue battling.
KZ just spawned in top main. He was by the side 20 seconds ago. Now we see Savage approaching that side, but the issue is Gunner's outside the building, so he has to back off right now and wait for reinforcements. 60 seconds, and Meteor sprinting through everything. Castle barricades not destroyed. Top floor control not theirs. No verticality. It's a very linear attack. Super predictable.
Gavin's been trying to chase KZ with that Vendetta. He's been chasing him in the kill department as well. But he needs to have a big impact. Little bit of damage, but no kill as of yet onto Maya. Savage cannot plant in this position. He needs to march forward into waiting room or into cafeteria. And Philippox has taken down Gunner. In for the backstab. It's Gav with the Vendetta as he revolves the pistol. He needs to have more impact than that. In Infirmary, JV tries to survive. That's KZ, actually the man of the hour. He's pushed down into the corner as Savage devilishly trying to battle out, but the team kill from Diffuser, and that means the defuse is on the ground. No one from M80 to salvage the round. It's time to lay down and die. Team Liquid Alienware have been running this gauntlet, and now all they need to do is deny the plan from Gavin. Who else but KZ to do it? 0-5 down to now have map point on Fortress.
It's another round where M80 should be winning. They're in the side, they found the gap, they found the kills, and Savage gets the bonk onto Mira. That should be another one for M80. He gets one tap by his teammate right before he can confirm the kill. So Savage goes down, his team is in a bad spot. Diffuser, the case on the ground. And they're panicking, sprinting through the side again because the timer, 10 seconds, 9 seconds. So when they play slow methodical and they get into a good position, it still falls apart. That's now 2 rounds in a row where they should have just closed it, but they're so unable to because KC exists and T-Lo, they're so back.
There's nobody that fires up like the Brazilians. We've seen them do it all over the world. And now they're looking to do it here in Paris. After a very disappointing finish to the last time they were in Paris this February at the 6th Invitational, where they were bested by their Brazilian brothers on Fluxo W7M. They had an early exit to that tournament, and it looks like, with the way this game started, they might also have an early exit this time here at EWC. This is an elimination game, and Team Liquid were the ones that wanted to take us to Fortress. If they had gone down on this map, especially in a 7-0-7-1, like it was looking to be,
the series.
That's probably the series, and that would mean Team Liquid's tournament done and dusted. M80 now are the ones who are getting a real run for their money. They have to dig deep, but they're back on the defensive side where they want to be. But they have not won a round of defense for the last
quick maps.
9 rounds, I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since that fever dream of a first 5 rounds in the first half of this game.
And mind you, the mentality right now, right? We've seen Gavin so eager to fight, so confident in the server. Even he right now probably feeling that little bit of nerves. That, oh my god, if I make the wrong mistake, now we're gonna lose another round, and it's not looking good for us. They need to just mentally recover, get this round, and then just see what happens on 7-7 once they get to their attacking side. I mean, the good thing for M80 is that Philippox is back on the Blackbeard, which didn't really find him much previously during regulation. And he's outside the building, going for drones as well, so T-Law struggling to enter the building comfortably. Just opening different doors, different windows. Bit of a stall out. I'm gonna be a little bit worried here with T-Law in terms of the clock, the timer.
It's possible that KZ could be on for the kill record. It is 27 kills. Maya, though, to find the first in this round for Team Liquid Alien, where Ashen has gone down. M80 lost the opening pick. The single map kill record is currently held by Onigiri, Joom, and Palu. Could KZ be one to join them? He just needs 4 more kills in this map.
It's also a best of 3 record. We'll get there later, but it's KC having it with Dan Tide on 50. So KC already has one of those records. Looking to break and set another, or maybe tie up those Titans that are above him in the BO1 category. Down to 23. Not right now taking the fight. That's Nate instantly, Habana. But a timer, I said I was worried about it. I'm still worried about it. 50 seconds, and finally Philippox in the building. Grimby spots out Gavin, who's looking for a fight, actually not falling back from his position.
I have to admit, I'm always scared when I see a team go for a roam clear on the Samam side of the map. But Philippox might be the one to make this moment. He gets the dash, but it's a trade directly, and he loses a second battle, but KZ will steal the kill. It's number 24. And Team Liquid Alienware retain the numbers advantage thanks to that early kill on Ashen at the start of the round. But now we're deep into the end of the round. 20 seconds and ticking away. M80, sit back and wait. KZ looks for one more. He knows Diffuser is right around that corner. He knows Gunner's peeking him as well. He'll find one before he's traded back. And now Diffuser on his last legs. But he strikes true. We're going the distance. Pengu, unless Maya can come up with this miracle, it ain't happening. It's a 15-round game here for M80.
Every single second matters right now between these two teams. It's a 3rd or 4th round now shared between them, where if they just had a second longer, Maya might get that kill. Had M80 had a second longer earlier, Gutter might have found KC. So every time they're stalling out, every time they're waiting for a drone, every time they're waiting for a swing together, it has to happen immediately. Maybe they find that final bit of magic to get back onto the attacking side on the 7-7. Fabian's found a chair. He's sitting down because the old man needs. They can't carry him for much longer in this series.
I mean, he's sitting down right now, but I tell you what, we often sit down while we cast, and we stood up and put our chairs away about 7 rounds.
Got a chair.
About 7 rounds ago, because we thought it was over. We thought we would come back to cameras. We thought that we would be moving on to map number 2, but no. Team Liquid Alienware had a very different idea of what was going to go down today. M80, 5-0. And now find themselves on the attacking side once again, which has been the home of all of their woes today on Fortress. We've only had 2 rounds of attack 1 in this entire 14-round game so far.
10 seconds left before insertion.
I'm waiting for those final attacking numbers to be locked in. I'm seeing that Raw, and Garner's gonna stick it. Usually with the Raw in action, it's gonna be a bit of a niche attacking round because there's only so many areas where those are gonna get high value. They can only go on a door, not a window. So you can kind of become a flank watcher with the Raw by closing up what's behind you, or when you're tagging by that bomb site or clearing a certain part of the map, you can deny the crossfires by closing the doors. But they are vulnerable. They can be destroyed with any soft destruction, be it explosive fire, canister, be it impact grenade, a C4, a Rooney Scopeless punch. But for this particular round, there's none of that 4 T-Law. So these Aura gates are gonna stay true. They're not gonna be destroyed whatsoever. So if they can get to that point of the round, where that Aura gadget comes into fruition, right? Oh my, he gets shot through the door from JV. So he's not gonna get it. Their aura is done. It's dusted.
Oh.
Gavin trades back to nade.
M80 need every kill they can get. Gavin is taking that responsibility very seriously. He's about to break 20 kills himself. And Ashen has worked a miracle with his SMG-12. He's taken down Nate and JV both. Savage forcing that defuse down. It's KZ's moment.
No
you
impact.
can't go 25 kills and then lose the game. He needs to sneak on through, but Ashen finally shuts him down. The animal has been caged, and Philippox and Maya now desperately need a way to win this 2v3. But guess who? It's the Monty of Savage just sitting back and watching. Philippox and Maya together will actually find one. Maybe they can take down Savage. If they get both angles onto him here, they could definitely take down the Monty, and they do. Hold your breath. Diffuser. Now to cover the diffuser. There's a 1v2, but the spray comes through. Take a bow! Team Liquid Alienware! From the depths, they rise above again! A miracle here in Paris from 0-5 down! And they steal the bid farewell to today.
We certainly will. And right now, M80 are down. They're down the mat. It doesn't mean they're out for the count, not by any means. We've seen this happen before, and we will certainly see it happen again. They will dig their heels into this matchup, but they are going against what was an immovable object in that second half. Hopefully, they might be able to find a little bit of grit. Kickstart there. Let's get this underway.
A very different map to Fortress.
One thing's for sure, right? Casey can't go 25 kills back to back. Surely not.
Well, we talked about the best of 1 kill record. The best of 3 kill record
Is it 50 if I recall
is
correctly?
50 kills on
land.
On land, that is.
Yeah.
It's actually held by KZ and Dan, tied. So KZ, look, if he gets 25 kills again, he would, match his own record.
It's only 12.5 kills per map required.
Yeah, totally.
Not sure how he finds the half, but it's there.
I think, yeah, 12 to 13 kills per map for the next 2 maps is
in a close
extremely
series.
doable.
Yeah.
Like, I would be extremely surprised. If this goes like 7-5, 7-5, or if it goes overtime on one or both of these maps, I'd be surprised if KZ doesn't break the kill record.
Of course, a big thing is when you're going from a map like Fortress onto Lair onto Chalet, very different maps, different way of, different win condition. On some of those maps, hard destruction doesn't matter a whole lot. On Fortress, we almost never spoke about the hard destruction operators because it's like can openers galore. That was all that happened. On Chalet, if you can't break certain walls, you can't win the round. On Lair, if you can break certain walls, you can't win the round. So it's a bit of a switch up. M80 on the attack, Tila on defense. And just like before in Fortress, they've banned the Electro Bros, both the Bandit and the Kaid, because they want to ensure that the very first step of Harvest, like I mentioned before, will be successful. They're not going to get stuck outside the building.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done for M80 to bounce back from what was a very disappointing end to that first map. But this is where they want to be. This is their map pick.
Oh, well, Casey goes down early. That's a good start there if you're an M80 fan, but this is how it started off in Fortress as well. Early dominance. It's all about consistency. Gunners on the A's on the roof, looking to get that wall popped open, just taking the Skybridge drone for safety. But we also have a couple of players in the windows of Museum and Bathroom. This could maybe a split take, but Philippox finds Gavin and Lion instead. With Lion being dead, you can't stop those defenders in their tracks with that Lion scanner anymore.
Yeah, almost gets traded as well. He went for a very ambitious peak, abandoning his safe position. JV and Philippox both having taken a lot of damage, extra vulnerable in the latter parts of this round, especially to the Vendetta from Ash. One bullet will mean the end of JV. Now it's up to Gunner to take control of Ops. He's done so, gets the hard breach to work. Next step will be breaching onto the bomb site itself. I believe the external breach has already been made as well by Savage.
It's been opened up indeed. So as I said, like step 1 is accomplished. You got the opening P, you got the foothold inside the ops room. Step 2 is almost there, but the issue is the target space between Philippox and the main staircase could be a problem. Barbed wire as well. JV finds Ashen. This round is going from decent to worse for M80.
Yeah, how long is Pox going to be allowed to survive here? He's
All
getting
day long,
pinged out by the Grimbees. He still has one gas babe. He also still has barbed wire. This shotgun is deadly. Diffuser from down below opens up a line of sight.
This is so awkward.
And it looks like the contest is going to come out from JV. That is very cheeky. Problem is now Philippox can't realistically escape without Diffuser being able to see him. So we need to see commitment here from Philippox.
Rotating. They're not
is.
going to go for him.
A big rotate here from Savage. And I don't know if Team Liquid Alienware are aware of it. They should have heard that. A rotate now. Diffuser can actually go for the 2 big booms. He's so close. There is enough damage from 2 shots to get a kill.
Calculating.
He's not entirely sure.
He's on desk.
And Nade is on top of the desk, so he will be able to withstand any kind of breach from below him.
Flipping the attack again, by the way. Looking for Ops Room right now, going back to the main staircase, so they're just kind of forcing T-Law to rotate away from the main staircase, just take the ground shortly after, because now they're by the bomb site doors.
Oh, he ran on the bomb here. If Diffuser gets this read right, this will be huge. A quick double tap. Oh, he gets it! While the player is moving as well! He just waited for the audio cue and he takes down Maya. That could open up a gap here for M80.
Looking for the walk-in, though. That's the issue right now. Philippox there again to stop them.
And Philippox will be the man of the hour with the SMG-11 traded back by Diffuser.
5 seconds.
It's now Nade, who struggled, only 3 kills on the entire of the first map. Diffuser has finished off Savage, but Gunner, thankfully, can get the coverage for M80 to clutch up the first round.
I'm curious if he team killed him because he was blocking from entering the bomb site, maybe, because he's in the door. But when we just saw it from the other position, I was like, what are we doing, guys? But I'm pretty sure he was body blocking his teammate and no can do. That or he was trying to plant on top of him and he kept reviving with the same body. Yeah.
Quick thinking there. Scary stuff. Diffuser, huge for him in that round. Like,
I mean, finding that double boom out of nowhere.
This is a loud room, right? Like, we have the massive stage 1, which it has so many people playing. I believe there's Call of Duty at the moment. The crowd is roaring. We've got people walking around this building.
Tekken over there.
We've got Tekken over there. We've got the stage on the other side. And we've got 2 stages for Rainbow Six right here where we're standing. It is loud.
Yeah.
I have no idea how he is standing there listening to his team comms and trying to block out all the noise from the Esports World Cup around him to actually hear.
Right, how could he hear it? How could he possibly hear it, right?
Because he's the go. That's called jealousy, my friend, and you might want to get that looked at.
There's a cure for it, you think?
Yeah, have you heard of therapy?
So not a real cure. I saw Fabian go to therapy. That didn't go very far, did it?
Oh, didn't he go to
therapy? He walked in, he smacked
that.
Hassan back on the desk, and he straight left the room.
Milosh therapy. Look, if Milosh was my therapist, I think my...
Do you know the reference from that content piece?
Is it a Good Will Hunting reference?
That's it! That's a Good Will Hunting reference.
I only knew that because Rob threw to it with he's hunting for some goodwill. That was the only way I knew
I didn't even catch that. I just... Oh, wow.
Oh, Rob's smooth.
That's a great throw.
Yeah. Kind of like Gunner's great throw, just... But yeah, unfortunate. Good opening kill though from JV. He was very quiet for a little bit of the first map. But like I said before, I mean, Nade, he got 3 kills in 15 rounds on the first map. JV only 5. And unfortunately for JV, he won't find any more in this round. Also, KZ, yet to find a kill after 25 on the first map. Has struggled on there so far. M80 now numbers advantage.
You have outcam though from T-Law inside our warehouse. Constantly giving yellow ping information. I think he's just shut out actually from M80, so Maya peeking these fights, very blind, and it's Savage with a shield.
Oh, where are you looking at?
We're looking the wrong way.
Nade comes out from Savage, he tries to take the fight, but Maya doesn't go for it until he does! Savage looking the wrong way, and Ashen now in a 1v3. DMR in hand, he's got info on one of them, tries to bait out some peeks, but it's a pretty strong crossfire here from Team Liquid Alienware, and Ashen does not have that defuser.
He does not. Doesn't even find the kill either. Philippox shot with SMG-11 takes him down. And that very well could have been a good push there for M80, but looking the wrong way for a split second with the timing of Maya going for a swing. They find 1-2 quick kills. And with that, the man advantage. And with that, also the round. We're tied up 1-1. I can't help but feel like this is going to be a bit of a struggle for M80 going forward. I really think that first map has impacted them. Just that slight bit of hesitation, you know? Ever so slightly.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Team Liquid are so much more energized now. After a very quiet start to map 1. Even these rounds where they're losing opening kills, like what happened just previously on Lair, they can always fight back. They are mid-round and late-round demons, these Team Liquid Alienware boys.
They really are. But that early game, Sometimes okay,
sometimes maybe
often
good,
kind of not so
sometimes
good.
maybe not good.
5 seconds to insertion.
It is interesting though, because into Siege there are so many different areas that you can be good at and you can be worse at. And there are just teams that if you let them get to a bomb site execute position as the attacking team, they're flawless. And I think of teams like FaZe Clan, for example, right? And I think the reason why FaZe Clan are so efficient and so consistent across all the years is that they don't have a bad early game either. So when you have a decently good early game, so that you can get to the late stage and you're really good at the late, that's how you win.
Yeah.
And if T-Law can like really sharpen up in the first like 90 seconds of a round, especially attack inside, I mean, they'll be much better for it. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. And look, M80, I think, are really good at picking apart and coming up with these cheeky ideas. How do we execute onto this position? Yeah, let's flip the attack. Let's flip it back again. Let's get Diffuser downstairs and bank on him finding a kill through the Vert. Which, by the way, he's doing again here in this round. Same bomb site we saw before from Team Liquid Alienware. It was very close, but M80 clutched it up at the end. And for the most part, M80 are really talking about doing the same strat. I mean, we have almost all the same operators. The only difference is Ashen, who's now bringing to the table this Glaz. I also have the Black... I didn't realize we didn't have Blackbeard last time on this top floor.
No, and also mind you that they've done a great job here to open up the external wall to the right-hand side there of Maya, but there's a Cube barrier patching it up and no one's destroyed it from the attack. So the breach being open is kind of fake pressure, and they know that as well.
Yeah.
So Maya can peek freely by the side, but they find Philippox on the extension.
Big kill, though, from the DMR of Ashen with that Glaz. He takes a lot of damage. He hasn't even used any of his smokes as of yet either. So that's still available for the late round, though he will be vulnerable to damage, tick damage away from the explosions of those Razor Blooms from JV, or perhaps from the Nitro of Nade. However, taking down Philippox on that smoke early certainly helps out. As we see Diffuser go back downstairs again, he's hoping for a little bit of information. Maybe Savage can ping out someone for him. Might be able to go for the 3 big booms.
Been there before, work out to perfection, and there's still decent amount of time right now because they got time. Diffuser's downstairs, and Gunner's going for a back. So this is maybe applying pressure from many different angles at the same time. There's a rough yellow ping.
Oh, he only went one.
Oh, yeah, he
There
forgets
we go. Give me the 3 big booms.
Boom, boom, boom.
JV, though, does take down Gunner. Team Liquid Alienware looking a little bit rough around the edges. 25 seconds, though. That clock will be an advantage for them. That will be their 4th player on the board. That Nitro Cell, though, for Nade will miss. How does Savage get in and look for a plant? A rotate from Ashen, but Maya is in the perfect position to take him down. Nade's also found one for himself. Beautiful usage of the key, but barrier from Nade. But no, now it's just Savage. Nade on the other side of it, on the 1-eye. As Savage starts to plant that defuse, he will have to stick it. It's an easy final kill for Nade. Beautiful round, especially from Maya on that Azami. Team Liquid Alienware take the lead.
And I really think that Maya in particular has been so good from the mental perspective here at figuring out, okay, what are M80 actually doing in the server? Because we talk about phantom pressure, open door, open window, open breaches. He's keeping all his keeper barriers in pocket. He patched the main breach. He patched that museum window where he finds the glass after, because he's recognizing that M80, they're not actually in the map. It feels like they are, but by putting down the assignment barriers, as long as they're intact, we know that it's not real pressure. It nets them a kill, it nets them a bit of safety, and there's less angles to worry about. And the reason why in that round is particularly important is that Gunner was flanking from Ops Room on the other side of the map. The main breach was closed, museum window was closed, and there was still barbed wire on the main stairs. They knew the only gap that they had was gonna be Ops. So in the middle of that execute from M80, one player from T-Law turned his back to the execute and looked at the backstep and found Gunner as well. So they went from a 5 versus 3 effectively to a 3v3 even numbers.
It's good game sense
Very.
from the Brazilians,
Good
really.
use of the Asami, because often it's about fighting the enemy. They're using it almost like as a Valt cam, like a one-off Valt cam.
Another example of M80 finding so many of the typical tick boxes in a round, right? They had the opening kill, correct. They also had a vertical kill onto an instrumental linchpin player on the bomb site. That's another check bar. What did they not have? Time. And that allowed Maya to sneak into that aggressive position next to the window and find not 1, but 2 kills before he was traded on back. and really ripped away that advantage that M80 had garnered for themselves.
Attackers' objective is to
Now,
locate
Team
a
Liquid
bomb
Alienware
and
for the
defuse
first time will take us to the tertiary bomb site, and Pengu, I have to admit, this bomb site has been one of my favorites to watch develop ever since Lair was introduced.
Right.
It is so cool to see the way that defenders will hold this bomb site pretty much exclusively from above. And instead of bringing operators that are really good on the bomb site, they bring operators that are good at fortifying above the bomb site, like this Mira, like the Warden, the Smoke, and of course the Solus as well.
Watching the garage camera right now, so Nuke is standing still because your footstep will still make a noise to the cam itself. Bit of a standoff downstairs, and they go off the cam, so Ashen starts walking forward, and they've actually completely missed it because of it. But then this is the dangerous part. The solid scanner can see the Nuke gadget if within range. Ashen has to be cautious of that.
A lot of lurking here happening from M80. It's not just Ashen, it's also Diffuser. Wow! Savage! Worst timing for him. The second kill for Maya on the Solus. Diffuser's gone down too. That's goodbye to your Solid Snake. That's so much free information. M80 will have to do without. Ashen wants to take the fight. Out comes the Deagle and a nade to follow. But Maya says, look, I've done the damage. I can fall on back. Gavin jumps in the bathroom window. Team Liquid Alienware still have fortified positions. Ashen has to have a big impact. Nitro Cell goes out, doesn't land its mark. Ashen thinks he hasn't been seen, so he wants to go through the gap. Out comes a Deagle, finds one kill, can't follow up the double. And guess what? JV on the Warden has found both of them. It's Gunner up against the world, 1v4. And I can tell you right now, this one just ain't happening.
Just more firepower right now from T-Law than ever before that we saw in Fortress. Every single player is stepping up individually. Maya in particular is so strong in the last 3 rounds. Gunner has to go huge. Mind you, this is not even the bomb site. We're just fighting the extension up above, but all 4 defenders are waiting for him.
There's just no way you win this. Good angle onto Nade, who tries to commit to that mirror window even after the Selma broke underneath it. He is low on HP. All 3 players just around the corner from him, holding their crossfires, biding their time. Maya follows up his star performance earlier in the round with a closer as well. And Team Liquid starting to look like they are running away with Lair.
I mean, that opening for Maya was disgusting. The second he hears a sound by that rocket door, swings it at MG11, no hesitation, gets the shotgun out, gets the second injure and kill confirmation. M80 down 1-3, they call their tactical timeout. And all the T-Law players flipping that strat book, looking for the next step on their path to victory. While M80, they're battling to stay in this tournament. And you see Fabian right now is similar look we've seen before in G2 when he was coaching those boys as well, saying, guys, we know what we're doing. We're so much better than this. We've gone from anger, from disappointment, just being sad that this is all they have to offer, that this is all they can find in the rounds.
Yeah, on the flip side, Team Liquid Alienware, despite individual players having lackluster performances, they look so relaxed right now. I got to admit, M80 also look pretty chill. I mean, these guys have been here before, but there's a level of, especially for your Fabian, like, I don't want my boys being chill.
There's 2 different kinds of chill as well, even in that department, right? There's the, we're kind of sad, kind of quiet, or we're kind of just like, we're calm, we're collected. And it feels a bit like that first map, it stung, and with how the second map is starting, your brain just kind of defaults back to that, oh, this sucks.
I always think about, like, there's confidence can come from 2 different places, right? Confidence can come...
Force and real.
Confidence can come from ego. It can come from just believing that you just have this deep-seated belief that you are better.
Yeah.
But confidence can also come from a much more sincere place, which isn't this that you're better, it's that you actually understand. I understand what's happening in these last 4 rounds, and I understand what's going to happen in the next 4 rounds. And, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I see teams who have a lot of confidence, but I feel like it doesn't come from a place of sincere understanding. It comes from a place of perhaps a little bit of unfounded confidence and a little bit of ego.
It's also that confidence or inspiration that can come from within yourself or from external factors. You know, your teammates saying, guys, listen, we're down 0-3, but trust me, we're going to bring this back, okay? I know it. I've seen this in my dream. We're going to do this strategy. This is how we're gonna do it. Hey, Savage, get off those shields, get on this particular operator, like, we're gonna do this sort of thing. Sometimes you need somebody else to inspire you and to bring you back the confidence that you have lost. When we speak about Gavin on Fortress, 18 kills, now he's in 1-4. A good teammate right now goes, Gavin, this is your round, buddy. Get in the Solid Snake, get that F2, you're gonna be taking some heads.
I'm clear.
M80 focus up on that opening kill. That's step one. Focus up on taking map control.
Okay, we're peeking outside the building as fast.
I mean, KZ's yet to find a kill since he found 25 on Fortress, and he says, guys, I just want to get on the scoreboard here. I was on track for a record.
Wait, threat.
Solid Snake is perfect here. I think M80 need tools to expedite this process, make things quicker, more efficient, so that they stop executing with 25 seconds left.
I do think that playing it nice and slow, though, it's going to be the way forward. Utilize that IQ scanner. They're trying to bait out a C4. He's watching the Valcam, also the kind of floor beneath it. There was indeed the C4 popped away. Diffuser just barely stays alive. A gunner did die earlier, so it's not looking good. And M80's attacks right now looking more and more thangless as we get deeper into the run. We're not seeing Tilo surrendering any easy gun for well. Gotta give them that. They're fighting by the staircase with the smoke and the barbed wire, and they're fighting vertically with the C4s and the Valcams.
It's interesting though. Usually I see teams really lean into the opposite side of the map to where Ashen is right now and focus up on that staircase because the vert really lends itself to helping take map control. And once you have the map control, once you have the... Oh my god, great read from Ashen! JV goes down. M80, instead of going for the type of attack I was thinking for, a more typical attack, they flip the switch. Nade's in a really awkward position. He gets taken down. He's having an absolute headache of a game. But M80 have finally taken some paracetamol. What? Massive round for them. They split up and they erupt onto the bomb site from all sides. Finally, they break the Team Liquid streak and they find a second round of their own.
That's all Ashen, by the way. If he doesn't find that play and create that space, that push does not work out. Because all of a sudden, the person that was watching Savage's door, or the hatch rather, turns his back to it. That's when he drops, helps Ashen, and they get inside the site. It's the small things that will win or lose your round. And all they need is that one player. They can take turns to find that moment. And they have to do it by supporting each other. Bake together. Get the intel. Share it.
Wall reinforced.
It's a flash of greatness there from M80.
Yeah.
Bit of a different playstyle, bit of split theory. Good old
split theory.
Good old split theory, but look, that's not going to work every time, especially if Team Liquid, like, what's the main counter to split theory is traps.
Yeah,
right? You just have tons of intel, tons of traps, so that you always plug your gaps, and you don't overcommit to one side of the map. And we are seeing the Thorn here picked out. Funnily enough, there were actually no traps last round. It was Goyo, Valkyrie, Smoke, Azami, and Warden, which is a lot more power position and counter-execute. A little bit of information. No traps, no actual stopping power. So I think that's a good adaptation. Not only do we have the Thorn, but we've also got the Fenrir as well for Team Liquid Alienware.
Obviously, Savage has done a great job, even without getting kills, right? Soaking up 3 bends, all the shields.
Yeah. Like I said, it's his 3 most played operators in the game.
Literally 1, 2, 3. I'm a little bit not skeptical, but I would have loved to see a Capital here and there, especially since that my ban came through. I know that Jaeger still catches the fire arrows that was buffed some time ago, but there are so many rounds of Philippox in particular is playing in a very certain position, often on a staircase.
Yeah.
And it's gonna trigger getting the nade in the right location, the flashbang, the Grim Beast, the Capital Fire, however, large spread, burning away at the feet of Philippox.
It's true. And look, we've even seen Philippox happy to sit in the Grim's bees. He's in this critical position. And when he's been shot with the bees before, the Kawan hives, he's happy to just stand in them.
Yeah.
Because he's still probably going to win that gunfight with the shotgun in close range.
That's what I said before with Maya, right? He patched up this breach every single time, so it doesn't matter. Now they gotta break it, and they finally get a bit of pressure. But now Tilo in response also knows that it's no longer clear. And Maya has 3 spare in pockets still from Asami, so he can, in a 10 seconds time, close the main breach again, and if that doesn't get broken, they know it's fake pressure.
Yeah.
That's how Tilo can use the Asami, almost like it. We've seen this every round with the
Diffuser is addicted, man.
He's
Get
a short
some help.
person, dude. 3 big booms, come on.
There's nothing like the dopamine hit of getting a vertical kill with Sophia. Diffuser is trying to dial back the clock a little bit.
He's not playing there. That's the thing, right? He's playing it so smart. It's saying, okay, I understand what he's trying to do. I'm going to play much further into the bomb site.
It is such a good counter to that Azami play from Maya. Diffuser wants to rotate back into that position. He's just waiting for someone. He's got a yellow ping, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get into that position. He's going to have to rotate 2 rooms across, and by that point, Maya might have rotated. Meanwhile, he gets baited. Up above, Philippox is watching that angle from down below. And now M80 are at an impasse. They've been waiting to try and find a kill onto an anchor before they can erupt, and their method of doing so, that Sophia, has been quelched.
And they started planning and applying a bit of that pressure on side. Maybe Maya gets forced to push deeper in, but they're not planting. They're not pressuring inside whatsoever.
Oh.
They just get shot down by the breach as well.
This is perfect from Team Liquid Alienware. M80 get desperate. They run straight into those traps. They spend far too much time measuring and not enough time getting active. Finally, Gunner gets in the building, but guess what? He's the last one. JV! A bit of life, finally, out of JV. As Team Liquid Alienware cap off what was a very powerful half, 4 rounds on their defense.
A little bit disappointed there, though, I gotta say. Like, if you just get the A's into Ops Room, which they had, you open up the internal bomb site wall, which they did, you walk in with the diffuser, you start planting. There is one thing that T-Law can do against you. Throw out Toxic Babes, there's 3 of them. You got over 60 seconds, that's not gonna last. And then I'm thinking, okay, well, no one can flank them downstairs because that's what Diffuser was playing, looking for that big boom kill. Instead it becomes, we must get the kill, we must use the gadget. Here's the yellow ping, sprint in, die to the hatch. They bait themselves into a bad circumstance. Had they started bait planting earlier, burned the Toxic Babes, then all of a sudden Maya would have to retake that desk position, and then Diffuser gets the kill. And until then, he's the flank watch duty. He's watching that staircase. He's ensuring that there's no C4 downstairs. That's his job. And I feel like that's a very easy read for Amade to recognize that, guys, we need to plant eventually. But the diffuser was on Savage outside the external breach, not the internal. So planting was never on the cards there for Amade at all.
Yeah.
Because there's no safe spot from that position at all.
Well, this is M80's map pick, and Team Liquid have started things off with 4 rounds. Now, M80, they play this a lot in the NAL. In fact, the last time they played it that wasn't against the North American team was all the way back 6 months ago at the Six Invitational, where they lost it to G2. Since then, they've been beating teams like 5 Fears, Shopify Rebellion, 100T, Cloud9, and lost to Dark Zero in their most recent match, which was 3 weeks ago. Quite an embarrassing loss as well, 7-2. On the flip side, we really do not see much lair out of Team Liquid Alienware. They've played it 3 times in the last 6 months, and it's been a loss to Furia, loss to FaZe, loss to NIP, most of which were pretty dominant games against them. So on paper, coming into today, I would have thought, yeah, I mean, this is an M80 favored map, right? They should be pretty happy with Lair.
I mean, not to spoil anything, right? But Fabian did tell us that he was very happy with the first 2 maps. Even if they go to Chalet, he was very comfortable there as well.
He did say
so
that.
It's like...
This is exactly where M80 want to be right now.
In theory, yes, but with a different result.
Especially, I wonder how much choking Fortress has affected them. Do have to wonder that. Oh, well, they were a lot better on their defensive Fortress than they were on their attack. Maybe it'll be the same story here. I don't expect a 5-1 half from them like they achieved on that first map. But look, anything's possible. These guys, like I've said, got 3 two-time major champions. Like, very few players in this game can say they've won a major. Even fewer can say they've won 2.
Yeah.
That is a very, very small list. And funnily enough, we have most of the players that have won 2 majors actually in this game right now.
And true. And also for the M80 side, they only won in Europe. Manchester, Munich.
We're
in Europe again.
We are in Europe.
Where is that EU buff for M80 and the boys? It's not there. We're in Paris.
Team Liquid Alienware actually have quite a history with Paris as well. Let's not forget, Six Invitational 2021. Heartbreak for Nesk and Palu.
And what NIPO took them.
And yeah, and I mean, Team Liquid were, I would say, probably favorites to win that event.
Definitely.
And obviously NIP had really had their moment, their mark in the sun, but look, Team Liquid at the time, Palu and Nesk largely regarded as the best players in the world. And Palu, unfortunately, his dad passed away, I believe, the day before the grand final, I think it was.
Shortly before, yeah.
It was sometime in that period, and yeah. Lost his dad, lost
dedicated the entire event to him.
Yeah.
It felt like that was going to be his moment.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been. It was so close, like in an alternate reality, like that's the story that we tell. Remember when Palu, did it all for his dad after his dad passed away? No, it's even more heartbreaking.
And that duo kept playing for, what, 4 more years, never finding a trophy.
Yeah, and then Team Liquid, of course, made quite a big change when Palu went over to Flux W7M. Nesk most recently retired after Team Liquid failed to make it back to Paris for the Six Invitational 6 months ago. And when they failed to make it, that was really just the moment when Nesk said, I think my time has come. Time to go do content creation. And after the JV Felipox, Nade, and KZ, and the boys had a bit of a disappointing performance with Furia. They decided maybe it's our time to go forge a new legacy with a different organization. But they're looking pretty good here. Nade from down below. Love to see the vertical game from Nade, especially now that he's going positive again after a quiet start to the series on Fortress. But for Felipox, a little bit awkward as he tries to rotate into the bomb site. A little bit solo though. Nade surely will find something back again for Liquid.
Again, small issue there, right? Felipox taking his left, but ideally you can't just look away from the other angle. He gets shot to his side. JV injured in an awkward spot, but does get raised here by KC, and Maya finds one to diffuser as well.
Oh!
Media trying to swing back, but it's a tough spot to be in.
Be careful, Ashen. Maya actually has
is he down
Oh, wow. He has got the down onto Ashen, indeed. The pressure from down below from Nade has been a dream for Team Liquid, as Gavin, no ACOG by the way, on the DMR, finds himself in a 1v3, and he's taking a lot of damage. Nade down below is really ramping up the pressure. He has been instrumental. And while KZ delivers the killing blow, it is Nade who is the MVP of the round for Team Liquid Alienware.
Ridiculous value there from Bok. I mean, that is absurd, finding so much damage, even a couple of kills and a confirmation on the injure. I feel like he's just like tracing people to the floor. No yellow pings, just sound cues and good bit of understanding of where that safety would be from the defense.
Who cares about Zavia? We're rolling back the clock.
Yeah.
We're going old school.
But I love it. One thing that I honestly feel like has been missing from Lair for quite some time is the verticality. It feels like people that used to play demos, where they would track people, now is what they did. It's not super common even now that we see, you know, the Bok downstairs, Sophia, etc. But a lot of focus to that point of contact for both of these teams, and I'm so for it. Because there's so much self-destruction. It is such a good way of dealing with the problem. And to my big surprise of both of these two teams on the attacking side, banning out the Wamai, we're still not seeing a Capitao, as I literally say the word. Felipox is hovering it from the Blitz, but I feel like Capitao for M80 in particular, but also with Tilo in that first round, very influential. Can find a lot of value because Lair often will be about one or two key positions for the defense that they're really fortifying, whether it be a mirror window or Q barrier or just like a lot of guns protecting it, and Capitao goes straight through that setup.
Well, we could be just 2 rounds away from Team Liquid finishing this off. And for M80, a second place finish in the NAL, not even dropping a single best of 1 in the group stage, and only losing to Wildcard in the playoffs, the best team from North America right now. They have been looking so hot, and they are a shadow of their usual selves today. Team Liquid have been running circles around M80.
I don't like this, James. We're seeing Mira, Goyo, Valkyrie, some double C4, triple C4 action start from downstairs. And we're peeking Rocket Door, peeking Ops window, losing Gunner early. At least to get a permanent cam watcher for the Valcams, but I don't think that's the trait that you want to go with. I think you'd rather have that C4 and that player up alive.
Especially Gunner, who was the MVP of the first major that him, Gavin, and Diffuser won together way back in Manchester. He actually still holds the best of 5 kill record as well, and he has been very quiet today. He has not had a big performance. He's been the second lowest rated player on his team.
Oh, it's been a bit of a struggle in the last few rounds. We're actually seeing KC on the Blitz now. And he just starts right-clicking Ashen.
Right when we say the word kill record.
This is the issue about KC on Shields. He's too eager for the fight. There's still a barbed wire on the ground.
To be fair, we did cast a curse him. As soon as you say the word kill record, it's not happening.
You're right.
He had 25 on the first map. Now he's had 2.
Falls early. Mind you, if he had been alive with the Blitz, you can capture fire off the top of that staircase, force back the Warden a bit further, and try and take a more, you know, on your side gunfight. You know, isn't the 12 shotgun great in close quarters? Not so much on further distances.
Gav looks kind of tempted here, though, to go for something. Never mind. My God, Nade. We ragged on him a lot on Fortress. His team dragged him across the line there. Now he's dragging them back again. He's playing the Vert on the tack with the Buck and now with the Ram, tearing apart this map. As Maya looks to try and take a staircase that seems to be completely free. M80 have vacated it. They've given up so much map control. Ashen looks to try and contest it back again. C4 in pocket, but the shotgun in hand. Great shot onto Maya. Goodbye to the Solid Snake. M80 have just a moment now to try and stall out Team Liquid Alienware. 20 seconds to go.
Very desynchronized there, right? No verticality from the Ram to help, take that staircase control for Maya. Despite having that gadget information, Force maybe just drop down this head. There's 10 seconds left. That staircase. There's not enough time to go down it.
Yeah, they don't have much time at all, but Philippox is able to finish off what was left of Ashen on low HP. A desperate last-minute push into the bomb site, but the cover is not going to be there from Nade. Philippox forcing it down. It's up to JV to make sure that he can prevent the Diffuser from getting denied, but Diffuser himself will finally swoop in for M80. A much-needed round to stave off match point against them. The North Americans refuse to go down without a fight.
They are refusing, but there's also this T-Log giving them a little bit too much wiggle room in the server again. Not getting the Boogie Drone, not getting the Vert. Maya solo dev, KC solo dev, not getting to utilize their gadgetry or the particular shield operator of the Blitz. That shouldn't be happening much more from them. I think they're all sitting there now silencing, guys. We had free opening pick, we had the perfect setup, we had plenty of time before things went sour, and that's how we lose the round? That's not good enough. But Ashen and Diffuser taking that round into their own hands. We need more of that from them. Pick the fights at the right time in the right areas. I don't think going for a spawn peek is what you need, but when you go for that fight, it has to make sense. Before your back's against the wall, but also not so early that there is a full 3 minutes to play with. It's somewhere in the middle. M80 has to suffer through the more bomb sites. So the issue with winning, so you gotta go to a arguably weaker and weaker site based off that rotation. So you're gonna go back top floor, and this one is tricky. On one hand, it feels very easy to defend. There's only a couple angles to be attacked from. On the other hand, though, it feels so hard to defend because that verticality downstairs, the power-ups like the Capital, the shields, the information gathering ups. So they get a bit of everything, a bit of intel. And operators like your Thorn for the jump-ins. Plant denial twice in the smoke and Tashanga, and they're gonna play that Asami and Goyo, which can stall out the round. So it feels like maybe they're saying, let's not go for gunfights, let's play that util game.
God, it is loud here.
This got really loud.
I don't know what's going on the other stage.
Counting something down.
I cannot wait until we get onto the main stage for our playoffs. It's going to be so exciting. Of course, the winner here will survive for yet another day, but they will not be out of the woods as of yet. The winner of this match will have to face CAG by Varel. The APAC team that have looked the best this event so far, that have already knocked out Shopify Rebellion. M80 and Team Liquid Alienware are currently battling for the right to go and play that qualification match. That's the heartbreaking thing here, Pengu. Both these teams are fighting against elimination.
Yeah, it's not all about
but the win doesn't mean that you're on to the playoffs, not just yet.
It's all about playing for that longevity. You knew when you signed up, you knew when you qualified, there's going to be a long tournament once you get boots on the ground.
I mean, it'll be a fairly short tournament for whoever loses here. That'll be 0-2, a single best of 1 loss and then a single best of 3 loss, and you fly straight back home.
A max of 4 maps. It's a bit of a shame. Playing in such a lovely environment, on a stage.
Wow, that's a deep gas.
Fans you, very deep gas.
Oh,
Nash gets caught punished because the repeller from Nade is perfect. Doesn't get impacted by the Toxic Babe, doesn't take damage, so the angle is safe and clear. And it's second round in a row now where M80 start on the back foot, this time losing the smoke. Thankfully double down with the Shanga, but it's a huge loss to suffer early.
It's irony, isn't it? Too brash from Ashen, who was trying to use that smoke to simply slow down the push. He wasn't trying to do anything too crazy. He was just trying to carefully slow Team Liquid down, and he suffers for it. Now that stopping power of the smoke will evaporate for the rest of the round. Gavin is getting revealed by the Grimsbees, now getting targeted by the Dokkaebi's Jago payload. He's about to have his phone explode, and then he will need to move. Otherwise, he'll continue taking damage. I feel like he forgot about the fire because he took far more damage than he needed to. It's time for a big play. Gunner! Double kill with the TCSG. He's given M80 a lifeline again. 25 seconds as Team Liquid Alienware start to make their way into the bomb site. It's JV on the Blackbeard. KZ and Nate to help on out. Savage needs to clutch on up the Portuguese captain, the IGL. He finds a second. KZ, after making miracles happen on Fortress, needs to clutch up here. Out go the concussions. Savage looks to try and prevent it. KZ can actually deny this using the concussions. It will stop the counter defuse animation. And Savage doesn't know where he's coming from. Now he won't have any audio whatsoever. KZ takes the fight, takes the round for Team Liquid Alienware. And he's brought them once again onto match points. M80 on the verge of elimination.
It's so well played as well. You just take away the ability to hear, to see correctly from Savage. Feeling so much pressure. His senses just being doled away. And every time T-Law are facing a round loss in those final seconds of a round, it's Casey in this BO3. And the more we see from Fabi, and the more we see from the players from M80, the more defeated their faces appear. Because reality is kicking in. They are one round away from going home far too early at this event.
And how does a team with this much potential, with one of the most esteemed of all time in Rainbow Six coaching them? He's won 2 invitationals as a player, 1 as a coach. And then you've got 3 people, Gunnar, Gavin, and Diffuser, who have won majors with 2 different teams. And then you've got Savage, the most recent Esports World Cup champion. The young, legendary IGL that everyone was searching for as Team Secret started to break up. Of course, he made it to the 6th Invitational just here in Paris not 6 months ago. It looks like he won't even make it to the quarterfinals.
It's never easy for a team when you're supposed to have an upgrade. But again, the story works the same way. Had the names been flipped here, and M80, they were the ones being up about to win, right? Then T-Law, same story. A core roster from Fury, from W7M with Maya now being on Liquid. And they're supposed to raise the trophy. They're supposed to go deep into a tournament. They would have the exact same disappointment of a story had they been in M80's shoes. It's a mirror matchup.
It is so insane that the number of commonalities and parallels between these 2 teams. And yet one of them will go down winless out of this tournament. I mean, for Team Liquid, you can hardly blame them for losing to Wildcard. M80 know what that's like recently in the NAL. But it was a surprise to see M80 struggle so much against Falcons in that BO1. And it is a surprise to see them struggle so much against Team Liquid here. 6-3 down. Team Liquid came back from a 6-2 on Fortress, but I don't think M80 have the same level of grit that we've seen today from Liquid.
You're gonna have to dig very deep right now. We're talking Manchester level performance from the individual players of M80. We saw Gunnar had a huge moment in that previous round. The 2K from Skybridge into out the breaching. Buys them a little bit of time, but then they couldn't fully close it out. They have to work together as well. T-Law right now playing very cautiously. They don't want to make any mistakes. Don't want to take any risk that is too large in the server. They have operators that honestly, there's no easy solution for them. There is no shield to crotch. They do have the Ying to hit the bomb site. They have the Solid Snake to get that bit of information. But someone's got to strike first. Someone has to take that first bit of risk. Wall frozen. With the exothermic charge placed upon it. Half the round burned away. Almost nothing accomplished here from T-Law, just waiting. 12 seconds for each solar cannons, but Nate finds the kill. He finds the first pick onto Ashen.
And he has info on the bomb site now. He can use that Solid Snake scanner to see exactly which parts of the bomb site are vacated. And he says, guys, there's actually no one on the bomb site at all. Maybe I can look for a gap here. If you guys create a distraction for me with your candelas upstairs, I might be able to make some magic happen. KZ will go down. Diffuser helps on out. The Warden upstairs was standing through those Yin candelas. As for Leapox needs to go deep. He will find the kill, dropping down onto the side. But Gavin will trade from up above. Nade has finally made his way into the bomb site, but he is all alone. 1v3 for the top fragger at the moment from Team Liquid Alienware. Does he have info? Wants to go for a vertical play, but it's not going to happen, not just yet. Oh, and indeed, Gunnar will get him straight back again. Onto the bomb site so quickly for M80. Back into it and fighting. 2 more rounds to push OT.
Round by round. As with losing Ashen early, the individual players stepped up. Very well played there from M80. Not, I think, over-rotating because Nate found that pick. They said, guys, if he takes the bomb side, at least we have the control up above. We can play the post. We can maybe deny it vertically. The fighting is going to happen on that extension upstairs. Do not be fooled. Do not be distracted. And T-Law assaulted well. The Incantillas were going in. He sprints past the Holy. He triggers the Razor Bloom from the Thorn. Then just goes further away, saying, I don't want the fight. It's not going to be to my advantage. But the issue is that bomb site rotation. You gotta go flawless here. 3 rounds in a row for me into OT. The tertiary, into top floor. That's very problematic for them. Into basement. That's gonna be the full streak. And it's very different bomb sites that needs different things to work out for you to win and different ways strategically to play it out. And we're gonna see the bandit from Savage right now that they can try and trick those external and internal walls. And if you get this done correctly, you can lock them from entering the site besides a single doorway. That could be round defining. But I see Nate on that bomb. He's gonna go downstairs and make Savage's life miserable. And if they're successfully doing so, the bandit is just a C4 and a gun. That gadget will not exist.
You're right. M80 have a really good idea of how to win this round using that bandit. But Team Liquid Alienware had Nate last time use that buck to go get down below and put a lot of vertical pressure on it. Got that team 2 or 3 kills. And while he's doing that, he can also get rid of those bandit batteries. So if he's confident to take that map control, then Team Liquid won't be worrying too much about that bandit pick whatsoever.
It's gonna be a matter of who can do it better. Savage just pre-plays 2 of the bandit batteries. 2 are still in pocket for active usage later on. AC injured early, but should be able to crawl past the corner.
Oh, his feet's
his
exposed.
feet is sticking out. Does he not see it?
Gunnar, I don't think he realizes.
He might not realize he's injured at all, actually. But guys, he's right there. That's such a missed opportunity. If he swings now and dies, that changes everything from getting a free kill to becoming the freebie.
This is a worst-case scenario for M80. 1 player down, and it's the guy who stepped up last round, and now they decide they need to go for a retake. Big from Savage. He takes down JV. Ashen now takes that position up with the smoke, but he's about to meet Philippox as Team Liquid Alienware have decided it's time for us to rotate back into the action.
He's got the Goya fire, not popped though. Philippox taking that space, now they get popped instead. It's the peel on back, stuck in the hole with G2 to fight a C4! They're stuck in the worst place possible!
It's a nuclear play from M80! Philippox still on the floor. He is irredeemable, unsavable. KZ 1v3. Look, the KZ from Fortress I would back him to win this, but he hasn't had the form in these last 10 rounds to do so. He knows exactly where Philippox is. That gas will finish him off! M80, a 1 step closer to OT.
They chewed them up and they spat him out. They lured them into that hallway. Double fire pop, C4, couldn't run away, couldn't stick around. Again, a weak start for M80. But then, honestly, the defining moment for me is when the 2 platoons, Ashen and Savage, after Gunnar died, they just swung together and traded back right here. Double swing. They needed that kill to get back to even footing. But if they had lost that individual gunfight, that could have very well been the round. It was all or nothing from M80. And it's exactly how they need to keep playing this. No fear, no hesitation.
And a good grip on the util. Like you said, the double fire, the C4, and the smoke. They turned that hallway into a just impossible place for Team Liquid to stand in. The floor was lava, the floor was exploding.
I was about to say!
And then the floor was set alight.
But now, back to that conversation of the perfect rotation. Now it's basement. And again, very different win conditions, very different set of operations. I feel like, look at Savage, right? From Bandit to Echo. I mean, speak about a toss-up. That's such a different way of playing the game. But this is going to enable a player on a staircase, for example. And if Philippox wants to take that staircase gunfight, which he plays himself on defense, 1 Echo stun timed correctly, and that's going to be a kill. But before that, it's a wallbang lead from Gavin through a softball onto JV, playing a Dokkaebi, a very active util gadgetry that will not exist in this round. And they are keeping up that pressure. They are literally just fighting every second and not being afraid of taking the most ridiculous fights right now.
Sometimes you just got to do it to him. Gavin decided, you know what? You miss every shot you don't take. I love to see that from him. Could we have a second overtime in a row? T-Law came back from 6-2 on Fortress. M80 are on the verge of coming back from a 6-3.
Just gotta hold your nerve against Savage. It's gonna be the playmaker. Solid Twitch Stone. So he gets off the roof. Looking forward in the ceilings, and another Echo's on the board. It's a bit of a bait and switch, right? Diffuse is trying to protect it.
Perfect.
He tanked the sap and gets the drone kill as well. So that's only 1 Twitcher now in pocket for KC. It's the only counter for the Yokais directly. And as long as Echo exists, Philipox has to be so cautious because anywhere with that shield, if he gets stun locked, will be a dangerous spot to be in.
Yeah. So much work to be done by KZ on that Twitch. He has to find all of the traps, all of the Goyos, and also those Yokais ideally. This would be huge. He's just waiting patiently for Savage to move that Yokai active. He sees it.
It's the last shot.
Running around. It is the last shot that KZ has before it recharges. He tries to get active, sees the drone, and takes down that first Yokai. Where are Savage's other Yokais? One on the blue stairs and one infiltration. That's the last two. And he's going to rotate one over, surely, to help out his team.
Yep. So Ashen now is going to have less support playing by the staircase right now because they're worried about the frontal attack from Warehouse. Once the Yokai gets here, they'll see, okay, right now there's nothing happening. So it's a tough call now for Savage. Do you keep that drone as a flank watching tool, or do you rotate it back to help Ashen playing by the filtration stairs? Well, they made the decision for them. Ashen will give up the staircase control because of 60 seconds being left remaining. He's going to play by the bomb site itself. So I made his win condition with every single is changing.
Oh no. The Thorn Trap does reveal the position. Nade is now slowed down, but Philipox somehow managed to evade it, so he can keep march on forward. And you're right. M80 elected not to reinforce that wall, that typically teams that would fall back would close up.
Look at Ashen, though. Ashen has a position. Wait, with a swing.
Oh, this is a very aggressive play from Diffuser. KZ reads it.
All or nothing.
It is indeed all or nothing. 25 seconds as M80 need
too early,
to win this. It is indeed too early. The Nitro Cell comes out, doesn't land its mark. We need that Yokai to get active, but Nade will punish Ashen. Team Liquid Alienware are on the verge of knocking M80 from the tournament. But they need to get into the building right now as the Americans hold their ground. Gavin is down. Savage stands tall. Mayan needs to find this kill as Philipox looks for a chance to plant. But M80 say not today. We are not done yet. To overtime we go for a second map in a row.
M80, they have made some sort of pact with the Siege Gods. They must make a huge mistake in a round because they will clutch it later. A necessary sacrifice. The mistimed, miscommunicated play there between Ashen and Savage could and arguably should have lost them the chance of OT. But then the other players show up and say, don't worry guys, we have your back. As any good team would. Team Law call their attack timeout as they enter overtime. We're back on familiar territory. 6-6, the comeback story continues, but for the opposite team.
But it's a very different story to Fortress. Fortress was a game where nobody could attack. It was all defenses almost the entire game through. This has been a very different story here on Lair. We've seen these teams changing their playstyle, adapting to each other, and clutching up in dire moments.
I'm arguing with James for now with sign language.
No, stop looking at
there's a grammatical error. That right there, the G, that part. No, isn't that grammatically incorrect?
Yes, but that's fine.
Okay, as long as you don't mind. I'm just saying, if I was you...
You're looking at my notes and judging my notes.
No, I'm sorry. That, you know what? I shouldn't have done that.
I fixed the grammar for you.
Thank
Is
you.
that okay?
That's past my line. I'm gonna go here.
Sometimes I write down some ideas while we're casting.
It was just misspelled. And I thought it
was grammar police.
I thought you were gonna trip up your own words, and I don't want you to happen for you.
I don't sit here and read the bloody thing. They're just notes.
Oh.
Shell going out.
All right.
Who takes notes and doesn't read them again? Why take them then?
Have you ever heard of journaling?
Sure. Diary stuff?
Yeah, people do not read them.
Today I misspelled the word and I'm so butthurt because somebody pointed it out. I'm sorry, James.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to cast the rest of this yourself? I'm ready to walk off.
Rob is right here, buddy. Okay? You say the word, I'm gonna get 2 bald men casting this match in OT.
Oh, man. I don't think the esports scene is ready for that.
No, not yet. It's too soon.
Oh, man. We're into overtime, and I think that these teams are overcooked just as much as we are here on the desk, trying to get a handle on what has been such a heart stopper. What happens now? M80 back onto the attack. It's been a long time between drinks for them. They only won 2 rounds of attack. One was onto the top floor, one was onto the basement. Right now, we go to the top floor again here from Team Liquid Alienware.
Of course, the side swap makes things kind of challenging. You just found your stride on one side just to go back on the other. Finally, Capital from M80 though. I was saying, where is this operator? It was missing the entire time they were attacking previously, and now it's the perfect counter to take down Philipox on the main staircase. Diffuser, do not die trying to do the big booms, okay? You're needed elsewhere for different things. It cannot be
he's
all or
going for
nothing.
it.
Yeah, he is, but there's no one there. They know. They're playing deeper, like deeper in the bomb site, just like before where he died to the hatch. You gotta clear Philippox first. Get that main stage control. Get up to a breach. Because once Philippox is dealt with, then you can breach the bomb site wall.
Well,
until then, it's too risky because you shoot off the Selma charge, which only have one left in pocket.
Well, there is no catch to try and support Philippox from the fire and from the Grimsbees.
Wait.
We
Back to
could
big
see
booms.
3 big booms here. As Diffuser gets back into position, but Nade keeps on moving. Top fragger for Team Liquid Alienware. Big scalp to take if they're able to find him. He is still standing above soft floor.
Here comes the fire. That's what they need.
Savage rotating in position to take down Philippox.
Oh, good smoke, though.
Yeah, the smoke will slow him down. The fire will force him back. And finally, the kill is delivered. It's on to Gunner, though, from JV. Team Liquid strike first, somehow out of nowhere. As M80 try their best to push Team Liquid back, but they have struggled to find any kills to go with it.
Would have been such a beautiful time in there. The fire to force back Philippox to go big booms right beneath him, but only one went out doing damage. He stays alive. Now prone the floor out of server, holding that first push. I still think M80 are in a great spot to go for a plant here, but the issue is they haven't broken that bomb site wall because Gunner died. So they gotta get Diffuser all the way across the hallway, start breaching the wall, then the second issue appears because he just dies in the path there. So now the wall will not be opened up. They cannot go for a plant.
Nade's picked out again. M80 now. How do they get into a plant position? They are struggling to do so. Savage tries to get active with the smokes. This is so desperate. He goes all the way back.
Casey has the angle.
Skybridge. KZ. He can deny the plants. Oh my god. Massive clutch from KZ. 1v5 for Gav. It just ain't happening. Philippox to shut him down. A flawless round to cook up yet another match point for Team Liquid.
Another round, just like on Fortress, where M80, that could have been their flawless victory. If the Fire Sophia combination gets that Philippox kill, they get the bomb site wall, they don't lose the Heartbridge operators, they go for a plant, and Casey doesn't find the kill on Skybridge, it's absolutely free. But all the things I just mentioned did not go according to plan. They went the opposite direction, completely in the wrong one if you're an M80 fan or player. I mean, look at this Heartbreak. He was slowed by, looked like the bar by, but it was the, I'm not sure, he couldn't sprint, I guess, because there was a bench in the floor as well. Yeah. So he couldn't sprint and he couldn't see and he just dies, and then the wall doesn't get opened up, and the step 1 was never fully accomplished, but they were trying to do step 3.
So tunnel visioned on getting that kill from below, on clearing out Philippox from the stairs, on taking control of bathroom to have lateral pressure. They never maintained control of Skybridge. Even though they breached the external wall, they never breached the internal wall.
You know, you could argue here, if you want to do that kind of play and, you know, not give attention to Skybridge, if you're on the outside wall, if you breach the right-hand side, you can still plant default. But by breaching far left, you are opening up your angle to yourself.
It's funny because M80 did that exact play on the defense. Gunner got 2 kills from the same
exact thing.
We just saw KZ get 2 from. M80 know exactly what to do. They just can't do it. They keep making critical mistakes, and that pressure is just getting torqued up tighter and tighter. As M80 find themselves for the 4th time in a match point loss position on the verge of elimination.
Setting up a sequential breach.
I feel like whenever we see T-Law on the attack inside an OT, it's a very different stylistic choice from them. He's probably waiting for the door to be barricaded, and if he goes for it, he just runs away okay. Because often when you break a door early on, you barricade it now for your flank watch, and you can get caught in the middle of that animation.
Do you reckon they subbed out Nade for Handy between maps? Because he got 3.
As I said, who would know?
He got 3 kills in the first
Yeah.
Now he's got 13.
I'm telling you, having a twin brother playing in the same game at the same level for very similar... Okay, it's Davey. You know, I'm not even surprised, because if there's one player that would mess it up, it's Davey, okay? Guy's a troll.
Let's go back. You were saying that Nade and Handy are going to do the Parent Trap or something?
Yeah, oh my god, that's a great movie, yeah. It's, nobody would know besides the players that are in the voice comms with them. Like, I couldn't tell the difference. There was actually a content piece that happened in a previous event where they had different pro players guess it was Handy or Nade. Yeah. And they got it completely wrong. I think Asher was a part of that, actually. He's like, oh, that's Handy, I know for sure. It wasn't.
They are twin brothers.
And they've both lifted a hammer.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible. both against each other as well.
Yeah. Imagine the family dinners that they have. Oh boy.
Well, M80 certainly won't be having a family dinner after this if they struggle to clutch up here. They are 1 round trailing behind and getting closer and closer for Leapox. Feels a bit of pressure there, but KZ still finds a kill.
Oh no.
And for Leapox as well. Gavin desperately tries to kill, and he does find one. It's all up to Ashen in the 1v2 to try and save his team in the Esports World Cup. But Nade might well just be about to target him with that Dockerby. Meyer as well with the AK-12 in hand will hunt him down. There's plenty of time, tanks the damage, and continues making his way forward. 1 gas in pocket, SMG-11 in hand. The young gun, who is one of the few players in this game who has not raised a major trophy. Ashen has to be the man of the hour for M80. Otherwise, Team Liquid will finish it right here.
They're stalling it out. They're just waiting for that adrenaline to dissipate, to use all the toxic babes, all the final piece of safety that he has. In a couple seconds, they can push and force that 2v1.
It is indeed a 2v1. The SMG-11, almost good for 1. They know where he is. He's locked out of the side. He's trapped behind a soft wall. They look to peek him again. He's got no bullets.
Oh wait, he's out.
Out comes the shotgun, but Nade is on the floor. Meyer
How's he done it?
Go for the kill. Ashen continues high.
No.
Continues fighting. But the cavalry is here. M80 have stumbled again. The young legends are going home. But Team Liquid will survive!
He had it! He basically won the round. He basically hit the shot.